You
Yes,
watched the Tennessee game, right?
I was. That was yes.
Dude, is it or is it not typical Tennessee to when you're playing a good team to just not even show up? Like that's so Tennessee. That was literally Tennessee in the fucking playoffs. And then Tennessee plays Florida and it's like, oh yeah, we just don't even show up and get blown out by 30 fucking points. Ridiculous.
Horrendous,
But it's
dude.
like that I feel like that only happens to Tennessee. Like we're
See,
the
that's
most
my thing
overhyped
too,
team and just get let down.
dude. Every damn time. Um,
Do
I'm.
I?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Dude. I'm so sick of it, dude.
Yeah, me too.
Um, let me see if I can pull up some of the early voluntary reaction here. We usually have it rolling.
Because
Dude.
like, I mean, I just don't even know. Like, I mean, it's and the thing is like I know I'm bitching about this, but I've got pretty good faith that Tennessee's going to be good in basketball. You know, like we're bitching because Tennessee is ranked number one in the country and didn't show up today. You know, but it's like they're the last undefeated team. You did play Florida, and so like you've got good teams that you were playing. So it's like, well, it's not doesn't mean we're bad. It's just we're just bitching that they just don't they just don't show up sometimes. You know,
Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
now that you're all freshly shaven,
Huh?
freshly shaven.
Freshly shaven, dude.
Yeah.
January.
I don't know if I like you better. I don't know which way I like you better.
I think I like myself better with a beard.
Do
Uh,
you?
I think I look better when I
Yeah.
have some facial hair. Um,
I
also
I
just
think I
looks
need a
better.
little bit. Like this is honestly kind of getting a little too long. But like I like having like a little bit, but I don't like having a lot, you know?
No,
Like once you
I
get
don't look
like
at.
this and if it
I
starts touching my lips, I'm like, ugh, like done. I gotta get
Yeah,
rid of it.
no, dude. I keep barber scissors on me to cut like if I have my mustache, but
Yeah.
I usually like keep it at like a two. Like
Yep.
I put my guard on a two and just where it's like just right on. I mean, it's just like just kind of lays on there and that's it. Like
Yep. Um, yeah. So, what would you think of some of the stuff Trump was saying today?
no,
What'd you think of some of the stuff Trump was saying today?
I mean
Like
I'm
taking back Greenland,
Trump.
all
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. Dude,
Yeah.
it's honestly kind of got me a little excited, you know? Because like I think that I think politics is gonna be fun next year or this year. You know, like I think Trump just kind of makes it a little interesting.
He does.
You know, it's not like Joe Biden. Like I mean, there's no content with Joe Biden. You know, it's him falling down. But like Trump is like, I mean, he's already like on top of the memes, dude.
Oh God, yeah, dude.
But yeah. So, um, are you planning on going to any basketball games this year?
Yeah, I'm going to a bunch, man. Um, I'm even going to the women's game this Thursday. They play LSU.
Really?
They do.
I heard the girls weren't very good, right?
The girls are good, dude. They've only lost one game too.
Really?
Yeah, men and women are like two of the only undefeateds left, and then they both took their L's this week. Actually, women
Oh,
lost yesterday to Oklahoma by 1 point. Man, that's
that's
crazy.
kind of crazy.
And now they
I,
got
I, I guess I wonder what they're gonna do when the coach gets or you know has the kid. Wasn't it supposed to be in like the middle of the season?
she said that she's only going to miss one game.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Damn.
So like if she has the kid, like like she's going to have it, or her due date's like on the day of a game. But she said she'd only miss one game. I mean, I guess
She's a fucking champ.
bro, that's what I said. I was like, she said maternity leave. Fuck that, dude. She's
Fuck
like,
that shit.
she's like,
I'm here to make some money.
dude, she's gonna like breastfeed the kid on the sideline, bro, dude. Like we're
Oh
gonna
yeah, dude.
like
The dad's gonna be sitting there and like with the little thing holding on to the kid, you know?
she's gonna have like the blanket goes over. She's got like, the tit in the mouth there,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
like
Dude, I
mid-time.
could see her just like walking down the side, just sitting there, the little baby just suckling. Dude, that's Abby told me about that. She's like, yeah, like apparently she's gonna have the baby in the middle of the season. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. She said she's gonna do it, and I was like, I hate to say this, but it's kind of like that's almost like a downside for like, uh,
I would be upset if I was an athletic director and
I would too. I mean, like, and look, I know the if women are
yeah,
watching this, which based off the data that like I think 78% of the people who watch this is men.
yeah.
I'm just gonna say it, but like, yeah, that's a downside. And yeah, there's a downside of men probably like fucking their secretary or something like that, or some girl who's in the front
Yeah,
office.
yeah. Um, well, I'm in the clear. I'm good. I don't do that. I don't
No, no,
do
no, 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 I'm not talking about you or anything like that.
no, dude.
I'm talking about
I know better
what was
than
it?
me.
Who's the Arkansas? Was it Petrino?
Patrino, yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
like a Bobby fucking Petrino. It's like, and then you got Hugh Freeze down in Auburn. It's like okay,
Great
like
Redwood, bro, dude. Hugh Freeze.
yeah,
That's
dude, and fucking Ogeron, he was fucking his bitch before he left. Like, trust me, like they probably know having a male coach, there's probably gonna be like some issues, you know.
yeah. But I mean, like with her, the perverse incentive for me, there's like, I know you can't tell anybody to not have a family. Like you can't like
Yeah,
show up like you can't. But I'm just saying, if I was an athletic director, I'd have been like, you couldn't wear a condom for a few months and then have the kid in like the summertime when
yeah.
like, come on, dude.
Well, and that's maybe what I'd come, but it's like just like, are you really gonna tell someone when they can conceive? It's like, yeah, well,
No, yeah,
you know,
you can't. I'm just saying, like, if I was an athletic director, it'd be like one of those, like, you can't talk about it, but I'd be a little like, really? Like, bad timing.
yeah,
Like, you're about to play UConn in South Carolina and you got to miss one of those games? Like, Jesus.
yeah. Well, and it's like you're not gonna miss the first round of the uh
No, I
oh
should be
God,
like,
I
beloved
know,
for
but
the.
it's like what's it called? March Madness. You're not gonna miss the first round of March Madness, are you? Like really kind of needing to make sure on some of that.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting because like, so here's the question: Do you think that do you think men or women coach better women's sports?
Uh, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I think women probably relate better, but like, I mean, there's guys that can do it well. I mean,
Yeah.
JG Mariema does it at UConn. I mean, if you have a daughter and you're a guy, I mean, I'm sure it's, you just relate
Do
it
you,
to
do you
that.
think do you think like that's a barrier, like the coach and like the younger girls?
I mean, it can be, dude. Like, I've heard stories from like high school, men,
Oh, well, I mean, we know about that, but I'm just saying like
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 men that are coaching like girls basketball in high school, and
but
like
do you think that like that's like a weird enough relationship to where a team couldn't be successful?
yeah,
Like how big of a factor is that?
pretty damn big, dude. You got to
Really?
be like, you got to be almost like you like to be success like a guy coaching women's basketball. You got to be pretty ethically and morally there.
See, so here's what about women coaching men's sports?
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think so, man.
I sometimes I think it's like the same reason why
And that
people
sounds
said Kamala
perfectly
wouldn't
right.
win.
That
Because people were
sounds
like, oh, well, men don't like taking directions from women, and I'm like, I don't think that's a reason, but it's like there's a lot of people that it's like, and I feel like coaching is the same way. Like,
Yeah, no coaching for sure. And the thing is, like, I know it sounds awful. Like, I'm not trying to be like sexist or anything. It's just like I just don't. I mean, it's like, if a woman was to coach a football game versus like Nick Saban over here,
what
it's
about
like,
like wrestling? Like, there's probably some women wrestlers out there.
there are some women wrestlers that are good. And I've seen them coach. I've never seen a woman coach a dude's wrestling team. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know how I would have handled that. I never had that, so like I
Yeah.
don't. Um, yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I think maybe I've kind of done something like this. Um, and maybe there's it's kind of it, but it's indirectly. I did track and field,
I did
and
pole
like
vault.
there were some of the long distance runners or whatever it is, and they were like women.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean it wasn't weird, but dude, like if she was like the slightest bit good looking,
Yeah.
people were like all over her. Like
No,
like the
dude.
guys were like, oh, like really like wanting, they
Dude,
thought they thought she was so hot, or
that's
they
like
try to
that's like
be.
when you get like the young girl that was definitely like a nerd in like school that like becomes a teacher and she's like kind of hot and then like she starts like picking out like favorite dudes in the class that are
Oh,
like
Jesus
studs
Christ.
on the
Get
football
out of
team.
your fucking erotica there, Josh.
Huh? What?
Get your turn your porn off. What
Dude, you've never seen that before? Like real life. I'm talking like not from like a porn perspective, but like I'm
do you mean,
saying
like
like
a teacher like picking out who her favorite kids are or whatever?
yeah, dude. Dude, we used to
Well, I
have
mean, you have, but dude, like those teachers, dude,
I mean dudes
they
do it
were
too.
they were they
Not just
wanted attention. They
yeah.
were like, give it
I'm
to
not
me,
just
give it to me. I
I'm
mean, like they were probably the sluts in high school, you know?
that or they were super nerdy and now they're getting attention. Um,
Maybe.
but now I also will say this though, like dudes do it too. Like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna sit there and just pick on them for that. But I mean I've seen that a few times. But damn, that's just funny.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like I don't know, dude. That's
Equality.
well, I mean, and the thing is it's like I'm thinking back to some of the women coaches, and I'm like, I don't know how big of a deal it'd be because none of them were really like super attractive. Like there might have been like one, but most of the time, like
In high school, or
there
you
just
like
weren't any at all.
you talking about in
And
high
it's
school?
like, like it's like,
Like, what are you talking are you talking about high school?
yeah, high school dude, like most of the men coaches, like, I don't see how any woman would find them attractive, because I mean they were like all old white guys,
You see, we
and
had some young guys come in for
see,
coaching.
we didn't have a lot. We
We had
Most of our guys were like, or at least the ones I interacted with were kind of middle aged.
we had two dudes that were like, I guess for the superficial male and the superficial female, like they were attractive dudes. And dude, like one of them got in trouble.
Slamming.
Huh?
We're slamming some co-eds or whatever.
No, so he did do that at his former school because
Oh,
he came from like a Chattanooga school or
oh,
or maybe like a in between Chattanooga and Knoxville school, and he got in trouble for doing that exact thing. He was slamming some co-eds, and then he came to Greenville, and then he uh he didn't do it, but like he like the
he
thing
was
is,
in the early stages.
well, it was like he came there, and obviously like reputation's gonna follow you a little bit,
Yep.
because people Google's a thing and some other shit. And so a couple of girls found out about it. A couple of girls were like trying to lean into it, and like he went to dinner with like two different girls. Didn't do
Really?
anything. Yeah, but it was one of those like you said early stages. Like we're setting the bait. It's like
Yeah, Jesus, dude, I didn't know that, dude. Like we did not have any of that. Like I mean, not saying we had like child molesters or whatever, but like I'm just saying like we didn't have like coaches that were super young. Um, and like if they did, they were like an assistant, and they were like like almost like a graduate teacher kind of a thing. Um,
oh dude, I used to love like assistant teachers or like grad teachers.
yeah. And but those were the young ones, and those were like the people doing it for college credit. You
Yeah,
know what
we
I
used
mean?
to have some hot college girls come in to do that, dude. Like they would
Did
like
you?
be they're for like student teaching or like if they were like doing like a graduate like thing. Oh God. Mm.
Oh, so speaking of Tennessee, did you see we picked up that one wide receiver from Alabama?
Maury Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from Chattanooga.
Yeah, he went to Baylor or whatever, I think is what he
Fuck
said.
Baylor, dude.
Which I was like, okay, like we all know what happens at Baylor. They get the poorest kids, give them a scholarship to go, and they just give them room and board instead of so they're not in like Memphis or Nashville or
Yeah,
wherever.
that's right. I mean, most of the boarding schools do that. Like, if you find a kid that's athletic as hell, you just
Oh
get a
yeah,
yeah,
dump the money in there.
yeah. You just you let someone that's you let someone that's paying taxpayer money pay for that kid.
It's kind of crazy. Well, and
Um,
what's kind of fascinating is Baylor is like the only boarding school that I know of. Do you know of any other ones?
in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Christian Brothers.
Christian Brothers, I had an offer from Macaulay. I could have gone
But
there.
but is there
They had board
did they? Really? Okay. I didn't know that. I thought Baylor was the only one.
this close to being a Macaulay tornado, man. Father Ryan, Christian Brothers, Notre Dame, Chattanooga, Chattanooga Christian School, Webb
That's
School.
what, six? Webb? Really?
Webb Webb has board. Grace Christian, maybe.
I
I don't.
didn't think Webb or Grace Christian had one.
I know Webb does. Webb
Really?
for sure does. Yeah, because you can. It's 90 grand if you board.
Wow.
Now, if you don't, it's like 50 or whatever, 60.
I've
For
only known people who lived in Knoxville who went there, so I didn't even know that. Wow.
yeah, no, you can board. Because I almost did for McCullough, and I kind of wanted to do Father Ryan because that'd been badass, bro. In Nashville, bro, dude, like out there, and like,
For what, wrestling?
yeah, dude,
Really?
yeah, dude,
Oh.
bro, I was cooking private schools, bro. When I was like this public school kid that was just out here like cooking private school kids.
Well, I mean, I know it. I mean, there weren't even a lot of schools that even had wrestling teams.
That's true. Oh no, I'll tell you one thing though, dude. Like we went up to so we got to the point where we had a couple of us that were like during wrestling season, my junior and senior year, there was like 3 years. There's four of us. There's four of us on the team that were like in and out of national rankings for high school wrestling. So coach he put us into the this tournament up north, which is like one of like the top four tournaments in the country for high school kids. There's like Beast of the East, Powerade, Iron Man, and then the one in Tulsa. I can't think about it, but we went to Beast of the East up in Delaware, dude. And let
Yep.
me tell you, dude, those private schools up there in like New Jersey and
Oh,
like,
dude, they're ridiculous.
dude, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Iowa wrestlers, dude, those kids are so retardedly good. Like when I tell you, like I was like, just to put this into comparison, I was like a Tennessee state champion. I'm like right here, and then up there, I was like here.
Oh no, dude.
My
We had
skill
one.
level looked
We had
like,
one of the one good wrestler who came out of Maryville was my age, and I had a fucking drill with him, and I think he was like a three-time state champ, and he was like good. Like he beat everybody. Like he was beating everybody in Tennessee.
oh, dude, when it came
Like,
to Tennessee, dude, like I was just dominating. Like
well,
in
I know, but so like for him, and like he would occasionally lose one to some guy in Virginia or some of these other schools, but he would maybe lose one a year during like the regular season. And then he would go and do those tournaments, dude, and it's like he would get like fifth. And like I mean, he would get fifth out of like a 16-man bracket or whatever it is, which I mean is good.
I
Um,
I lost in the blood round at Beast of the East. That was a 64 man bracket. I was one match away from placing. I'd have been in the fifth place, sixth place match.
yeah. Well, and,
Which
and the thing is like, dude, I just never I like wrestling, but dude, like sometimes it's kind of like it's kind of hard to get into. Like if you're watching, and I guess you see this a lot more in high school than you do in college, which is why I watch some college stuff. But dude, when you're like watching these high school matches and these guys are just beating the shit out of someone else, it's like, it's not even interesting. It's not even fun to watch. And I feel like when you start watching it at the college level and professional level, that's when it kind of really looks like interesting to me. I don't know. It's just kind of
wrestling, dude.
like for example, in high school, like sometimes there's not a lot of action, people aren't being super aggressive and things like that. But you go to college and they're just fucking like railing on each other, you know?
Dude, college wrestling is so dude, it's dude, your scoring goes from like in high school, it's like here, dude. College scoring goes to like that.
Yeah,
I don't even want to know what Olympic wrestling looks like as far as
yeah.
score. But dude, it's just dude, I love college wrestling rules though. Like if I'd have had like those rules, like
Oh,
there's
like writing time and whatnot.
dude, if I'd have had riding time, dude, when I was in we went down to the Holiday Knockout down in Florida to wrestle, and I mean, dude, if I'd have had riding time, dude, I would have won that finals match.
Really?
Dude, yeah, dude, I rode this kid like a pony in the third period down one, and then if I'd had riding time, man, dude, because he got an escape point at the end of it, and I was like, shit, riding time would have gave it to me.
Yeah.
About it.
So dude, wrestling was, man, like after sophomore year, to me, man, wrestling was just kind of like it was something you did. And I
Except
wouldn't like super I wouldn't like I like looking back, I'm like I wish I was like I was like I could have been way better at wrestling because I wasn't super aggressive. But dude, like for me, man,
well, I was
like
slick, but I
it
wasn't. I
was
wasn't.
it was it was so hard to do football and wrestling back
Did
to
it?
back.
I did it.
And And like for me, and dude, and you know this because you went to Greenville and you guys are actually decent football. If you make a run into the playoffs, dude, you're doing fucking uh you're doing football till December.
Yeah, and then
And then it's
wrestling.
like boom, okay, now you gotta get in shape.
So, so our coach used to have this thing, and his thing was if you like because we went to the state championship my last 2 years of high school. So like you said in football it was like we were in December like you said like the first weekend
Yep.
of December, and then we'd flip around, and so like coach would always give us the Coach Shelton for wrestling. Any football players had the opportunity to you could take 2 weeks off if you wanted it, and I'll be honest, I was the kid that
Wait,
should
so you would take 2 weeks off from football?
no. You could take 2 weeks off of wrestling with the first 2 weeks. So like when football ended, like the state championship ends, right? You
Uh-huh.
could like you just gotta like you should have to tell Coach Shelton, hey, I'm gonna take that 2 weeks, and then you just for 2 weeks you don't do shit, and then you come back to the wrestling room. I never agreed with that though. I was the kid that like I'm not joking. My senior year, we won the state championship on Thursday night, and then I was in the finals of the Knox Catholic Invitational the
Okay.
next day. 24 hours later, I was in the finals of Knox Catholic and won it. Um, so my thing was just like, I don't agree with that. Like I was just ready to roll. I was like, I don't need 2 weeks. I'm in shape. I'm like, let's roll because I didn't want to take 2 weeks and then come back into and you have wrestling practices. I mean, you're gonna throw up
Yeah.
if you try to take time off, dude. Constant motion because football like your entire conditioning is like 6 second bursts like for football plays, and then it's
Yeah.
like wrestling. It's like constant fucking
Yeah, now you gotta go, what is it, 6 minutes? Um,
2 4 6. Yeah, that's right.
dude, so for me, I remember junior year, it wasn't bad, but dude, like I was always undersized. For whatever weight class I was going, I was always like 10 pounds lighter than the weight limit. And dude, I fucking like it was
That
just
was me
like,
my
oh
first year.
Jesus. And then I did 220. And dude, obviously, if there's not a 220, the next fucking highest one is heavyweight. So you get bumped up to heavyweight and you're wrestling these 285-pound guys. And I'm sitting here at like 215, 220. And I'm just like what the fuck? Like you're sitting here like trying to throw this guy around who's like 60 fucking
I used
pounds
to
more than you.
I
And then
used to
and then
love
dude, I
watching
remember I'd always get when you get on fucking bottom, dude, and they fucking just and just fucking put it on you.
I
Dude,
used to
that shit
love
was
watch
fucking terrible.
I used to love watching like heavyweights wrestle, dude, because like the thing is like it always ends the same. Like no matter how good or how bad you are, like it's either gonna like you're gonna like sit there and they're gonna like dance like especially if they're the same weight, right? Like if you get two guys that are both like 260 in heavyweight, you're sitting there and like they're just like dancing the whole time back and forth, just sweating like pigs, and then like someone somewhere is gonna fall down. Like it's
Yeah.
like either a throw is gonna happen, but it sucks being because I was a 6 pounder for 4 years. I was like 90 pounds my freshman year. I mean I didn't have the strength. I mean I did okay. I placed at state, but then obviously sophomore through the rest I just won out because I was actually at the weight and I lost weight my last 2 years. It was that dude. I lost 30 pounds senior year to get back to 60. That sucked.
Yeah.
That sucked. But I was slick. I mean, I couldn't do the whole brute thing where I just ran out there and tried to run over somebody. I was a leg rider. I just technical the shit out of someone. But it's weird because like you see these different styles of like wrestler and like some of these, and I felt so bad for people like you because we had another guy that was just like that. He would weigh like 215 and like be like 220, and then like you said, we had a good 220, so you're getting bumped, and he was
Yeah.
like,
So what was even worse was I and that's what I was saying, like when I was on when you're on the fucking offensive line, it is how big can you get? How big, like literally, I remember my coach, I was 165 pounds my freshman year. And he's like, how much do you weigh? And I was like, oh, like 165. And I think I was like kind of slowly starting to put on some weight. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm 165. And he's like, okay, well, you're gonna need to put on like 30 pounds if you think you're ever gonna play. And like and like so like literally it was like the next fucking year I was doing I was like weighed like 174 and all right. Yeah, it was like 174, 177 or something, and I was wrestling 182.
yeah.
And then it went 220, 220 because it was like you just got to get big. Like you just got to get big at like playing the line. And so I never got to like be like, okay, this is where I'd want to wrestle at. Because I
Dude,
always thought like 170 was like the highest I would ever want to go on like if I actually really wanted to wrestle and get into it, like that's like the highest I'd go. After that, everyone's just kind of like, they're just slower. They're just kind of throwing their bodies at you. I just never really liked it.
the wrestling and baseball are like my two though. Those are like my two sports where like I tried like those are always best at. Like love football and everything, but like dude, I used to get we used to call it the commitment speech from Coach Ballard for football because like at the end of the year we had the hydration test to be very like the hydration test you had to take for wrestling, and so I'd have to lose my weight so that I didn't fail a hydration test. I'd have to gradually lose it over the course of the last month of football, and Coach Ballard could just see me doing it. He'd see my face start sinking in. I was losing a bunch of weight, and he used to give me the commitment speech like we're in the playoffs, and I was like a six man for football, like coming in at slot receiver. We used to alternate, and so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and he's like, you can't be running out here at 100 pounds and expect to not get drilled like by something. And I was like, I'm quick, I'll be fine, just
Yeah.
give me the ball in space. But he used to give me this commitment speech like, no, we feed y'all because they used to what they used to make us do was every Thursday before football games they'd make us like come to the cafeteria and they'd get like this Italian restaurant that was in our town. They'd get like a fat plate of like chicken Alfredo. You had to load up on carbs and breadsticks. Like it was like you're all like boys like load up. And that last month I just wouldn't eat it. I'd be like I'd
Yeah.
skip through the line and go grab my jersey stuff. But he used to get so mad, dude. He's like, "You're messing up with the game plan." I'm like, "I've got wrestling in a week." Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So senior year, dude, that like I kind of look back and I'm like, I wish I was better. Like I said, dude, like senior year, man, after football, I was like, I think I asked for 2 weeks, and my wrestling coach was like, you got a week. And dude, I will tell you, man, like it was so fucking rough coming back
back into
into
it.
into wrestling after my senior year, man. Like we played, we went all the way, we won state. I was starting. And dude, I was just like, fuck, like I am just so tired and beat to shit. I was like, I need like I lose, like I don't want to come back till January. And I always didn't want to do it because I don't know if you remember this. I think it was called the Indian Classic.
Dude,
It was
DB, Dolphins
the one
Bell.
at DB.
Yeah, dude. I
And
used to
so,
own that bitch, bro.
dude, so
I should get that medal in here somewhere.
I that was always it was like that was the first one back
Yeah, it's
after
December, early
football.
December, early
And
December.
I was like, fuck
We
me.
did,
Because I was like, and it was a 2 day. It was a 2 day. So you'd go up
yes,
there on like Friday and then you'd wrestle or Saturday and
Catholic
then
2 day.
Sunday.
Because you had Catholic, because Knox Catholic's Invitational, which is a 2 day tournament. It was
Mhm.
like Catholic and then DBs. It was right. I
Yep.
mean, we were back to back. We used to do it every year.
Yep.
No,
And with DBs, I remember that was the one that you got to spend the night. And I remember that was always big for us was do you get to spend the night wherever you're going? And because if you do, you get all your buddies and we're like, all right, let's go fuck over here and do all this stupid shit.
mm-hmm.
But
Tuddles, dude.
so did you uh did you have a trainer on your team, or did you have any girls on your team?
We did. We had like we had like two girl managers that like managed the rest of the team, and then there was like a couple of girls that we had a girls team. Like it was
Oh,
small, but
really?
yeah.
See, Maryville like just now got a girls wrestling team.
They Greenville's we got it when I was a sophomore. Didn't have it freshman year, but we had enough to where it's like okay, there's like five of them or six of them. They're like, okay, yeah,
So here's a question: any of the guys on the team hook up with the trainer?
dude, yeah. Like every year, there's always like one or like there's always like we
There was
always
always somebody, right? There was always somebody fucking the trainer.
yeah, yeah, dude. We always had like we had like two like when you say trainer, you talking like a manager or like an actual like
So we had trainers who were just like taping up people
oh
and
yeah,
doing all that kind of shit. And then we had managers, but we didn't really have any managers for wrestling. But we would have some for like football or
dude. We
no,
used to
we
have
I think we just had trainers. We had managers, but they were kind of like one and the same. They were mostly dudes.
we
But
had a
yeah,
manager,
dude, and everyone was trying to fuck them. Everybody
dude.
was trying to fuck the trainers.
That's so real. But we had these two managers, and then both of them at this on the same. We were driving to I forget where we were going. We might have been going to no, we were going to Bradley Central's tournament, dude. We were going to Bradley Central's tournament,
Oh, which one was that called?
the Bradley Central Invitational, or
Was that what it was called?
Yeah, it was just Bradley's tournament. I mean, he
I
was bitch.
remember we went to that like once or twice.
You guys
And I
son of
remember
a
that was tough because Bradley Central and
yeah,
Cleveland always were there. And then
dude.
Sadi Daisy and all those
Plus,
guys were there.
I was in the higher calling wrestling club, so like all my friends were Cleveland kids, so like they all knew me and stuff. So like, and I wrestled my best friend in the finals of that tournament of Bradley. But anyway, so on the way to Bradley, it was like I want to say my sophomore year, so it had to be sophomore or junior year. So no sophomore because it was a senior that did it. So we had these two like the managers were like either juniors or seniors, both of them because they were like two girls, they were friends, whatever. And we had these two dudes on the team that were like seniors, and they both like fucked these girls on the back of the bus on the way to Bradley, bro.
So we
Like if you
I
look
was
back, like you had like the groupie dudes that were like sitting up on top to like guard it. I'm just like, what are we doing?
so we had one girl who was our trainer, and then junior year she was it was when she did it, and then she wanted to be all cool, and so senior year she wanted to be a wrestler, and then I think she got hurt, and then she just stopped coming, and everyone's like, okay, but junior year she was the trainer, and we went to state, and that was another one that was like an overnight, and she, I think it was that last day, it was basically like two guys, or no, it was one guy, and it was like he was like he lost twice on the first day. So he basically
Done.
was done. So you're
Yeah, you're
done.
done. Yeah.
And most of us were like, okay, we'll lose on the first day or something because we had really shitty seeds. And then we would go in on the on we'd wrestle the next day. Um but there was one guy, he lost twice on the first day, and he was just fucking around later that night because they were just hanging out. And he ended up fucking the trainer. And he was like I think he was a freshman. I think he was a freshman at the time. And she was like a junior, and it was like ew, like come on, girl, like you got to do a little bit better than that. Um, but dude, I was so fucking pissed because I was friends with the bitch, and I was like if you're trying to get if your pussy's trying to get wet, like let me know, let me help you out here, and
Bro, you're
nothing fucking happened.
you were telling this to trainers, bro?
Well, we were hurt, so we were friends before. I think we had driver's ed together, and so like we were talking and like we were friends and stuff. But yeah, I didn't tell her this. But I was so fucking pissed off, man. I was like, God damn it! It's like I cucked myself, and I'm like, oh fuck me, man.
Yeah,
And
coaches.
but dude, it pissed me off because I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I would have totally fucked. Like I was desperate, and I was, um, you're fucking horny and you're like 16, like it's just fucking, you're just like, pick me.
Right.
So
Actually,
anyway, long story short, someone did fuck
always
fuck the trainer.
always happens, bro.
So do you think it happens probably the same on like a collegiate level? Like people fucking the trainers?
Sure.
Right. What about the cheerleaders or whatever?
What do you mean cheerleaders, bro?
You didn't have cheerleaders?
For wrestling?
Well, no, not for wrestling, but like for football.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of cheerleaders for football.
So were the cheerleaders like always dating the football guys?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we had a few that did, but like honestly, not really.
That's one thing that I always tell people. Well, they're like, oh, you're on the football team. Yeah, all the girls must have thought you were like cool because of it. I'm like, no, none of them cared. And they're like, oh, like so were all the football guys dating the cheerleaders? And I was like, no, not really, And like for some people, like they were just like, oh my God, like really? And it's like, yeah, just because like that's such stereotypes. Like, oh, these people are just fucking each other and blah 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 blah. But yeah, we didn't have too many of those. But you guys kind of had the same, right?
Yeah, 100%. But now, did y'all have like a lot? Like, did your all's like cheerleaders for football? Like, did they were they dating the football dudes? Like,
Well, some of them were. It was like two or three or whatever it was. Um, but dude, the cheerleaders, I mean, they were like not even fucking good. Like they were just fucking garbage. And it was always like the pretty
we're
girls, and
talking
so it
about
was like they
looks.
didn't do
We're
anything.
talking about looks, or are you talking about like? just being good at cheerleading.
I mean, I don't think they're very good at cheerleading. Like I think they were atrocious.
Did you? I don't know.
Um,
Who did you date in high school, dude? Did you date like cheerleaders or like
no, no. I mean, they just like were not good. They were not any good
you
at.
definitely dated nerds in high school, didn't you?
Dude, I didn't date anybody in high school.
You never had a relationship in high school?
Nope,
Any
nope.
like lack of trying or like you just didn't?
Dude, like I was completely different in high school, man. I did not try. I did not care.
You're
And
cool as
like, I
freak in
mean, dude,
college.
honestly, I was like, I,
You
I woke up and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to school.
like
And dude,
late
I
bloom.
hated school. I didn't fucking do homework. If I had quizzes or whatever, I'd do it like 5 minutes before class. And I was good. I was in like honors and one or history AP classes and English. I was a fucking like terrible at that. But I was in all the honors classes and stuff. I wasn't like the top student, but I just
But you like late bloomed your coolness until college, right? Because you definitely look like you like you kind of ramped up the
well,
coolness.
yeah, but I mean, like just for me, I was just like, I don't care. Like I want to go. I'm gonna do this stupid school thing. I'm gonna go do football or wrestling, which I was like half the time I don't even want to do anymore because you're just fucking tired. And then I was like, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna eat dinner, and I'm gonna play fucking video games. And I was like, that's what I want to do. Like I come home, I want to fucking play video games. I don't give a shit about school. I don't
That's
give
fair.
a shit about any of that stuff.
That's fair.
And I just didn't care. I was
I mean, I
completely different, man. And then college, and I was like, okay, I gotta start getting my shit together.
only had two girlfriends in high school, and one of them didn't even go to my school. So like,
See, that's one thing, dude, at Maribel. And it's weird because like I know people at the schools and they're like, oh yeah, like so and so knew so and so from no, it was Knox schools.
yeah,
Maybe it's a little different, but that's kind of where it was. But I was like, I was like, people who went to Maryville like seem to only date Maryville girls. None of them
uh,
dated any people from other schools.
dude. So,
Now you had a few skanks who were high school seniors, girls, and
yeah,
were fucking some college guy.
or
Now
like
you
from
always had that,
kid
but
like William Blunt gangsters, bro. Like,
oh yeah, some fucking guy who graduated 3 years ago. It's like
dude,
fucking somebody.
dude. We had a few of those, and it was funny. I don't know. I mean, like I dated like the girl I dated early in high school. I was like a sophomore, maybe. Wasn't a
Yeah.
long relationship, but she went to Greenville, and then, dude, my senior year, dude, the girl I dated was like from Meigs County, bro.
Migs, where is that?
Like Ray County, dude. That's like
Oh
Decatur.
Jesus.
It's like down next near McMinnville, dude.
I was gonna say I was like
It's like
so.
almost Chattanooga, bro. It's like
Well, that's what I'm thinking about. I was like when you were saying I was like I know where McMinnville is, which you're like yeah, like that's fucking out in the middle of nowhere. And then Decatur, I was like I've seen Decatur, but I was like
oh,
that's not a big city because when you said Decatur, I didn't think of Decatur,
so
Tennessee. I thought of Decatur, Georgia.
so
But
Meigs
yeah, I
is
was like that's on the way. That's in between. That's just past Chattanooga, right? Or Cleveland.
it's before chat.
Right, but for me, going up to Knoxville.
Yeah. So it's I mean it was out of the way for me, but she was a basketball player at Meigs.
Was it weird going to school, knowing you dated you got a girl at another school?
No, not really. I mean, it was funny because like so I met her because so we there's a girls tournament that happens up here. That I told you about that like that the Marist team from Georgia,
Yep.
Marist school they came out. We had this girl tournament. It happens every year. It's like the this year was like the 30th anniversary of it. So when I was a senior in high school, we used to all go as students. It used to be big, big. I mean, it's still kind of big, but like the schools that come are really good. But Meigs County was in the tournament, and like the girl Jace that I met, she just thought I was cute, bro, and like asked her my snap like on the way out. Like their team was in like the semifinals, and they got beaten in semifinals, and then like on her way out, she like was like, "Yo, can I get like your snap?" And I was like, "Cool."
Dude, you want to know what it was? Did you have your singlet on?
What,
Did you have your singlet on?
bro? It's a basketball
Well, you
game.
never know, dude. I mean, hey, Mr. Wrestler over here. I was gonna say just walk around your singlet so she can see your junk, and let her know what the kind of hog she's dealing with.
Bro, like that pole vaulter video that the guy that like lost the goal because
Yeah, because his dick fucking hits the
like, just a
the bar.
massive fucking schlong just hitting the bar, dude.
Dude, that was one, dude. One sport I will say that like a lot of people do and just don't give a shit about was track
But
and field.
Dude, I did pole vault for I did it as a joke. My senior year of high school, dude, I legally couldn't. So like an opposing coach, because we they used to share the field because in Greene County there's like you have like the county schools and there's like Greenville in the city, and so all the county schools would come to Greenville's track to for
Yeah,
practice.
Alcoa would
And
come to Maryville's track.
yeah, and so this one county school coach, he had like this kid that was like, I mean, small school and track and field was like three schools or four, like it wasn't a lot. Like most everybody was in the AAA or whatever it was. I was playing baseball, had no intention of doing track and field, and um I was like like my friend he was trying to do like pole vault, and he's like, dude, he was like, this shit's hard as fuck, and I came to watch him one day, and I was like, you're half-assing it, and he was like, you can't do it. I'm like, yeah, I bet I can do it in the first, and I was like, just show me the technique, and I did it, and then I just stuck around for a little bit, and then the Greenville coach was trying to get me to do it, and then the some county
Well, I was
coach,
gonna say that's the worst thing you could do. Don't ever go to a track and field that practice and throw something around or whatever and be like, oh yeah, this seems easy, because then they're gonna be like, sign up, please come
that's
join
quite
the
literally
team.
how
You
that
know.
that's quite literally how that conversation went, and then um the the coach from one of the county schools, I think he thought like I was like threatening or something. I mean, I was dicking around, like, and then he was just like, he was like, he said, don't you play baseball? I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, you can't play two spring sports. I was like, oh, didn't know that. Sorry, I'll head my ass up here to the car.
Hmm,
We were off that week, so I was like, fucking care.
that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that you can't do two
No,
spring sports.
no. I mean, you probably can, but it's like yeah, like you have to like turn a physical in for each sport you do, and I
Oh
didn't have
really?
anything turned in. I was just down there just dicking off with my best friend
Oh,
because he was
I know that's what you were doing. I
yeah,
never didn't know that because
yeah,
I never
like if I'd
cared.
have gotten hurt, dude, like we'd have been liable as fuck, bro.
Um, that's interesting, dude. That's interesting. So, um, hmm. So did when you would do sports or whatever, like did you ever have an off time during the year?
I wrestled year round. Um, baseball was also year round, and then football was like you had like we had like spring practice and then like summer
Yep.
workouts, but like I don't think I ever like wasn't like I was cut, dude. I had like I think I almost had an 8 pack at one point, dude. Like I would
Wow.
literally I did not like I worked out every day from like seventh grade until I went to college, dude. I worked out like every day. There wasn't really an off time. I mean, like so I'd get like Christmas, right? So like I'd get like a week at Christmas, and I'd get like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I got Thanksgiving. I got 2 days at Thanksgiving. No, 3 days. It was 3 days at Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas and New Year's, and then maybe like a day or two for a holiday. But like if it wasn't a holiday or a snow day, and even then, though, I was such an asshole. Dude. I was the dick that was like on snow days, like the coach would like hit like so me and my friend he was also big into wrestling. We are big. We were the dicks that would like go in there even on a snow day and practice, and like he'd post it on like the Facebook group like when
Oh, really?
all the parents are in there like asking like, hey, are y'all gonna practice since like the snow's letting people out of school early? And he'd post it in like the group. He'd be like, these two don't care about the weather. They're here to get extra work done
Oh,
today. And I was
goodness. Dude, so I was never that was never
like,
me. If they were like, "Do you want to go home?" I'd be like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." Like done. Um,
oh, I didn't. I mean, I was just there just because I was like trying to get better at it. But
no, dude, I mean, I'm just saying like for me, dude, like with wrestling, dude,
it was
I said,
fucking
man,
hard.
I was just fucking drained. Now, I used to do 2 days in in middle school. I would do 2 days. I'd go and do the high school practice was right after school, and then the middle school practice, which was like right after the high schoolers. I would do that, and I got really good at that.
Wait, did
But after that, dude, once I started
you were
focusing
doing
on
like you
football,
were like you were in middle school
yeah,
doing
so
it?
I'd be in middle school and you'd wrestle with the high schoolers.
Oh yeah, no, we did have that. We had that too, but it wasn't like a 2 day thing. It was like
No, it'd be like 2 hour practice and 2 hour practice.
like at the middle school, dude. Like for those of us that were like advanced or like like we like you could show me a bar and a half 100 times. Like I get it. Like if it
Mhm.
was like I'm working on like other stuff, they would like there was days where like the advanced like we'd have like an advanced group and then like the regulars, the advanced group would get sent to the high school to practice that day.
Oh, okay.
It sucked.
Well, I mean, I it sucked, but dude, I was probably in the best shape I ever was. Um, Probably around that time. Well, I take it back, dude. I don't know, man. When I was fucking, I'll say this, whether I kind of know it or not, dude. In my sophomore year of or junior year, sophomore junior, no, I think it was sophomore year of college. Dude, I was fucking cut. I was like running and doing fucking Ironmans.
College?
I was like fucking lifting weights too. I was doing 2 days and shit. And dude, that was honestly probably the best shape I've ever been in.
You're at college?
Yeah, dude, and honestly, probably even better than I was in high school. Like that,
Um,
like it was even with wrestling. That
so
was probably the best shape I've ever been.
that's on my 2025 goal list now for this year. I mean, I'm in decent shape right now. Not like where I want to be, but decent.
Well, dude, I mean, there were times, man, where I was oh, I really want to go on a run, and I would just go in and just put my fucking shoes and shit on, and I would just go for a run, and I would run and do like fucking, I shit you not, probably like 18 miles, 16 miles in like one day, just like picking up and going. And like I may have
Like
not
in
run for like
Knoxville?
3 weeks before that.
Where would you run?
I would run around campus.
Oh, at UT?
Yep.
Did you do?
And
Were you like the headphone guy or the earbud guy?
what do you mean, like the over the ears or
Like headphones, like the Bose like headphones, or like
yeah.
they're like the like AirPods, like earbuds.
Um, I did like the wired Apple ones. I mean that's what I still do now. Um,
Bro, my guy's got the wired at dude. What?
yeah. Well, so I the ones I use to work out are always my old old headphones or whatever. So for me in high school and even now, or in college, and even now, they're always like the old wired headphones.
Dude, I love my AirPods, man, dude.
Now, dude, now one of the things that I love the best and I wish I could do is I got new or I had some Dr. Dre like beats and I had gotten a new pair of over the ear ones.
Bro, dude, I have those still. I have the solos, like the HD
Yes, the
solos.
solo. That's what they were. The
I have
solos,
a
dude.
pair
And
in
I
my
would run
room
with
right now.
those. And dude, honestly, I loved those because they would stay on your fucking head
Mhm.
and they would never fall off.
Dude, the bitches were so nice, dude. I used to do so. I used to for wrestling, dude, on the bus. I have my solos in, and I've had like a bandana on under it.
Dude, you're probably a douche.
I was 100% a douche, bro, dude. I was the kid that had like the American flag bandana on, like for warm ups and shit, dude.
You're a douchebag.
Dude, I had like, dude. I will say this though. Dude, I used to love, because I mean, I was simple. I would wear like the white like Asics, like the Asics aggressors.
Oh,
Um,
you wouldn't go crazy with the shoes?
no, dude, but like I used to love like the kids that would come out there like in the multicolored shoes and like the pink laces and like the monster logo on
Oh
there.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I'm like, I'm either about to like whip this kid, like he's either just like a kid that like just got in and he like ordered everything off Funky Flicker Boys, or like this kid is fucking clock my shit, bro.
This kid was like, "What is Kale Sanderson wearing? Like, what is he endorsing? I'm buying." You
Bro,
know?
dude, he was like anything Bryce Meredith or Kale Sanderson one more,
Yep.
dude. He was like putting it on, dude. And it used to be funny. Like I said, like there was the kids that were cold that were like they get out there, you see the multicolored shoes and the monster headgear, and you're like, I'm about to get my ass
Yeah.
whipped. And then there was the kids that did that shit, like you said, that whatever the guy was wearing yesterday, and then 2 seconds later they're on the mat, bro. It's like
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
And I was very
Dude, I just did like the basics, dude. I honestly the wrestling shoes I had, I went to fucking Dick's and was like, "What wrestling shoes like do you have?" Like I wouldn't buy anything online, man, just because I was like, who gives a shit? Like wrestling shoes are wrestling shoes, and I didn't really care that much about them. Until one thing I always fucking had was my fucking toe would go right through the bottom of the shoe, and I'd be like, "Fuck this." And that's when I'd be like, "Man, I wish I had I wish I
I
had like real fucking shoes."
I was a my first ever year in it because my parents didn't know like if I was gonna take it serious. It was one of those things like I got talked into doing it because I was just like I was boxing, bro, at like 12. Like I was
Yeah.
just like, it was like we had a little small boxing gym up here, so like that was like my thing, right? I was just like, that was my thing. Got pulled out of that, and they're like, no, you need to come do wrestling. Like you like you're mean. Like it's like I'm
Hmm.
like Yes, they're like, no, dude, like we actually like we've watched you like you enjoy hurting someone on the like in a like legally, like not like physically. I was like, okay. They're like, no, come do this. And so like we did it, and like I had like the black pair of like Nikes that were just shit. Like I'm talking like
Yeah.
me down like from like 20 years ago shoes. And I hated them, dude. Like you said, my toe popped out of them like twice, I think.
Yep.
Like it was some dumb shit. And then like the next year, like once I'd gotten into it and gotten good at it, I was like, okay, like I found the shoe that which is the ASIC Aggressor, dude. I had the 1 2s and the threes. I love that shoe, dude. Because they used to have the ASIC Aggressors had like a lot of wrestling shoes just have like the rubber bottom.
Yep.
The aggressors, the rubber would come from the bottom and it would like be like on like the edge. And I used to love that because where I would like leg ride and like I'd use my like my knees never touched the mat like ever. So like I would dig my like the side of my foot, not even on the toe or the sole or the heel, just the side of my foot because there was rubber. I could dig it into the mat and do whatever I wanted to. I love those shoes.
Mm.
Those shoes were so
So
goated.
did you ever go in high school? Did you ever go from like liking wrestling to liking football to liking wrestling? Like or like, kind of switching in between?
I mean, I loved them all. I mean, I'll be like, here's
But
my
did
thing.
you ever like change like what your favorite was?
So as for like doing or watching, because for I mean, like
Doing.
football and baseball will forever be tied for me as far as watching. Baseball and wrestling were my like sports that I like. I love football. I do. Like I love doing it. And when it was season, I was into it. But like when it came to like physically like doing a sport, like playing it competitively, wrestling was always my favorite, followed by base, which I never thought would change because I thought baseball would stay as my one because I love baseball. But like, dude, wrestling was just that was me. I loved it. Took pride in it. It's just so weird because like my freshman and sophomore year of college, my like job was to get some money for colleges. I was the assistant coach for Greenville Middle School, bro. And like, dude, coaching is so much. It's so much fun, but it's like so stressful because it's like, okay, I'm essentially teaching you everything that like I know or like that I think you'll pick up. And then like it's like training kid for a test, and then you have to send him in there to take the test for you. Versus like
Yeah.
me, it's like in high school, like when I was wrestling, like I knew what I had to do. It's like, okay, we're in a dual meet, and I'm like, you need six like we needed 6 points at the state duels. Like the last it came down to my match in the semifinals to go to the state championship, and I pinned the kid. I was like, okay, I can control this. Like I can control my points. But like when I was coaching, it's like I don't control shit. Like I'm out here just yelling moves that like I have yelled at you all at practice, like whether you
Yeah.
do it or don't.
I've always said because I thought about, going back and
You
coaching football.
were you the kid that practiced with headgear or without headgear at the practice room?
I think we did without. Because we,
So
we we weren't assholes to each other. We weren't like fucking banging on people's ears and like
I was
in practice.
so I used to practice without, and then I got to high school, and dude, I got wasn't on purpose. Like he wasn't like an asshole was trying to bang on my ear, but like our 126 pounder was really good that year, and me and him were partners for 3 years. And dude, he like just over the course of time, eventually, your ear gets put in a mat, dude. And I got cauliflower this one time, dude. And I would like I hate it. I never wanted to have like the UFC fighter ear, so I was like, I
Yeah.
had to go to the hospital, not hospital, but like the
Urgent care.
ear, yeah, and they'd have to like drain it like every other day. And they give me these little magnets, look like those gauges that people put in their ears.
Yep.
They're like neon green. I'd stick them in my ear, and it would hold it from like filling up and hardening. I mean, I still have a small spot from it, but I hated. I wore headgear from that point on in practice, dude. I hate cauliflower ear. Hated it.
So I got a little bit on my ear. It's like it's not this one. It's this one. It's like right over here on the side. I got a little bit, but dude, it's kind of like I think that was the ear. No, it was this one. That's right. Because you can kind of feel it a little bit, but it's just
Yeah,
like just a little bit. But that's it. And I was like, thank God I don't have those fucking
dude.
ears where they're like, like they're
Dude,
like way out here because of
we
it.
had these two kids that wanted it so bad. Like we'd be like at like a
Oh, did that? I never understood that shit. People would be like fucking banging their ear
I
against
know, dude.
shit just to get it to
We'd be like
happen.
we used to. So like, I don't know about y'all if y'all had like parties in high school. But we used to have like we had a couple like of the like a couple like two of our wrestlers that were good. Like they were popular, and so like they'd host like a party and like they'd invite like some of the wrestlers and stuff. And like I remember being over there and like those two would like literally punch each other's ears trying to give each other cauliflower.
Dude, I never fucking understood that.
I was like, what
So,
the
and the thing was, is I was like, I never understood some of the weird wrestling shit people would do, because like dude, like, so when I was in middle school, I ended up being like, I really love wrestling. And so going into high school, I was like, wrestling is like my number one sport because I didn't play in middle school for football. And then once I got to Maryville High School, I was really kind of interested in both, but that's when I really started kind of liking football. Like I was playing, I kind of understood it, I kind of knew what we were doing, and I really enjoyed. And I was because I was starting, I really enjoyed football. And but dude, after that, I was like, well, okay, like I'm gonna kind of kind of be interested in this a little bit. And then I was doing wrestling, and dude, wrestling from freshman year pretty much into sophomore year was like my number one sport that I was doing. Like
And
I loved it. But then dude, like once I started playing football in uh junior year and I was like on the practice squad and I was doing all that kind of shit. And I fucking hated the people I was hitting because they were all fucking D1 athletes. But
yeah,
I was like, dude, I was like, I don't mind this at all. And I started like really kind of enjoying it. And then
what was
senior
y'all's
year,
mascot?
dude, I was like fucking in love with football.
What was y'all's mascot?
Uh, Rebels.
Remember that? Dude, no, dude, Maryville was real, dude, when it came to football, dude. Good God, dude. We were kind of similar. I don't know about y'all, dude. Like, dude, our football team was kind of like we did stuff really kind of shitty. Like, we never really had like I don't know if y'all did or not, but like we didn't do like position like battles. Like there, like it wasn't like you could like not you could go from like not starting to like beating a kid out for a spot. Like it was like we kind of had like predestined. Like our like my freshman year, like I went to I was in school in the same grade as like the coach's son who had played quarterback since he was like 3. Like he came in freshman year and it was like we literally had a meeting where all the freshmen were there to give him some backup, and then like coach literally told the seniors, he like, hey, so Cade's gonna start. Are you like, do we have any opposition? And he wasn't asking. It was like, I'm telling y'all now that he's gonna start. And we never had position battles. It was like you just walked out there and like everybody knew who was playing. Like there was no question about
No,
it.
dude, that was not Maryville at all. You had there was maybe a little bit of daddy ball with people who they
For
weren't
us,
so for wide receivers was like a big one. Our we all everyone knew who our 1 and 2 wide receivers were. But then it was like 3 and 4. Those guys were probably was like coach's son, not Coach Quarles, but one of the other coaches, and it usually wasn't very deep. And so it was like you kind of saw it a little bit more there just because you had that relationship
yeah,
and you had not a lot of depth.
we
So
we
naturally they were going to play more.
we definitely had daddy ball, but our thing too was like, and our soccer team did this as well. So in Greenville, and I always tell people this, like if you want your kid to be a starter, like for any sport in high school, start them when they're 5. Find whatever Pee Wee team that like everybody that's going to Greenville's on, because that's what we did. Like we had like 2 teams in like Pop Warner football where all of us were at when Coach Ballard put us on. Like he put it, all of us like together, and like it was like we grew up together, played football together, like we knew how to play together, and it was like as long as you're on this team, you're gonna play in
Yeah.
high school. But like if you weren't, good luck to you. You'll get in when we're up 40. But like
See,
I
yeah,
feel bad
see,
for
we just weren't that much. We like I said, we had a little bit for those other positions, but like for everyone else, it was like we don't care. Like if you're not good, you're not playing. And um, but I will say, like you kind of do have a little bit of predestined fate in high school, especially with our football team. It's like naturally, like if you're a senior, you're probably going to be playing more than if you were a junior or a sophomore or whatever it is.
getting
Um,
on.
and so we always had a little bit of that. Um, but it usually wasn't too bad. Um,
I think I made varsity sophomore year, and then playing was like junior and senior year for me. I mean, I played sophomore year, but I was like an in and out guy, like again. And then junior and senior year, I was like junior year I was second string, but it was like if you were a second string receiver, like you were still gonna play because like we would do the alternating crap
yeah.
like you would a running back. So like you would play, but like my senior year, I was not like the 1 or 2, but I was like a slot receiver one. And dude, it got so funny because like they ended up making me the fucking damn babysitter for like like after like we get up like 40 and like all the actual like starters would get to like come out and like relax and no, not me. It's like Josh, you know the plays better than anybody on the team. So like, and I mean even for like starters during games, like if they didn't know the play, they'd be like Josh has got the play. Just go to him if you need help. I'm like, I'm not a babysitter, bro, dude. Like just because I
Well,
like
dude, I think that's the only reason I started was because I was next to a guy, and I remember my coach said this to me once. He's like, make sure he knows. I was gonna say his name, but I'm not gonna say it. But because I actually like him, I'm actually really good friends with him. But it's
you
like,
know, I mean,
make sure he knows what to do. And
that was
like that
me.
was it. Like he was good at just like hitting shit. And it was
So
like is like tell him like and so we would get up to the line, dude, and we'd be like, I'd be like, you have him,
yeah,
I've got him. And dude,
did y'all
and
have
just because it was like I was like, that's the only reason I'm here is because everyone
did,
else is too
did y'all
stupid to
have
know what
like
to do.
two? Did y'all have two-way players a lot, or was it? Did y'all get? Because we
Nope.
were specific. We were like
Nope.
we did not. We had like
Nope. We dude, pretty much everyone was like you had one position.
that was me. So we did that. Now we had two-way players that played we had a running back that started at linebacker, and then we had a receiver that started at safety because he was just
Hmm.
fast. I mean, couldn't play defense to save my life. Like it was very evident, couldn't do it. I was so like I was good at like taking a hit or like you know like like kind of like bouncing off somebody, but like I could not like. I mean, I was just small. Like, I mean, I wasn't about to like lay somebody out on defense. So like, it's like okay, and I was a receiver, and that was it. And dude, like when I'd come off the field, like when defense would go on, I had the iPad. I was like the player coach with the iPad and the visor, like
Yeah.
trying to like do film on the side, and then like we'd figure it out, and then I'd hand it off to the defensive guy that did it, and then they would do that while we were on the field.
So would you so
I was a shit talker too, dude.
so it's interesting you say that because what I liked about offense was it was all like you knew what to do. You know, like you knew like okay, like for me, I was like, okay, here's the play we're gonna run. And so like you need like for me, I'm like, I need to get in this position to block out some, offensive or some defensive end from getting the play or whatever it is. And I was very like, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. And you have to get here. And it was all about positioning and shit like that. And that's what I always liked. It was almost kind of like you're outsmarting your enemy a little bit, you know? And I mean, you see that now, and you look at some of these NFL offenses. I mean, they're fucking wild. They're all over the place. Um, but yeah, dude, I just liked offense, and I was telling Abby this the other day, because her dad Steve, he was a defense, I think he was a defensive tackle.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Um,
He's just a.
but
Was
dude,
he?
but dude, I was telling her I was like,
Is Steve a
defense is
Gate City
more
guy?
fun. What?
Is Steve a Gate City guy?
Yep, he's Gate City.
Like from there, like.
Yep, yep.
Shit, dude.
But see, that's the thing is like I told Abby I was like, defense is more fun than offense. Like going in and hitting people and like doing that kind of stuff, like that's kind of fun. Like or not hitting people, but taking a tackle or getting a tackle or a sack. I'm like
Yeah,
that shit's fun. But it's like, you know, it's fucking tough. Like you're getting hit all I was telling everybody was like all if you're a defensive tackle, like what I was playing, it's like you're getting fucking double teamed every fucking play. And it's like some of our best, even D1 athletes, I mean, they would tell you like if you're getting double teamed, just flop over, take them both down, And it was
yeah,
just I was like fuck, like I don't want to be a defensive tackle, and I was like I'd rather be like an offensive tackle or something like that, and kind of be
dude.
a little bit smarter about it.
I loved offense, man, dude. I was a starting slot receiver, and then so for all 4 years, I probably had more time doing this. I was the placeholder, bro,
Hmm.
and I really, really, really wanted us to have a fake field goal one time.
Really,
I wanted my Doug Flutie moment, dude, where I could like 5'2" quarterback throw in the ball, dude.
dude, that's crazy, dude.
We always got the Chinese field goal, dude. What was funny is like I remember used to practice. It was like if a ball like hit the ground or like snap was bad, kicker fucks up some. It's like okay, everybody like the signal's fire. It's like you yell fire, fire, fire if something's going, and it's always fuck. When it comes to the game, dude, it was always fuck, fuck, fuck.
it's I always wondered what that was. I did when I was a second string offensive lineman, they had me doing the PATs. And dude, that was probably the worst job I have ever had to do. They made me do kickoff returns. Those were kind of fun.
Dude, when I was
Um,
playing, dude, PATs for me sucked because when I was like playing, I mean, I'm a receiver, so my hands are in gloves,
yeah.
and like naturally your hands get sweaty. And imagine me having to like wipe off and
Oh
like
yeah,
try to
you gotta, and then you gotta
hold
get
a
the
place,
ball. Yeah.
dude. And
See, but that's the
we
thing,
had a
man. Is
D
like,
one we had a D1 long snapper, and so like he was dude, his snaps were like coming in. They were
oh
hot.
yeah, they're probably coming in hot.
They were hot, and like he ended up not doing great in college. If you watched the South Carolina game in 20, I want to say 21 or 20, it would have had to been 20 or 21. I want to say 2020 though was the year. No, it was 2020. It's 2020. The South Carolina game at South Carolina when we had that long snapper that like put the ball on the ground.
I think so, maybe. I don't
Um,
remember that.
that his name was Will, and I'm not gonna go to the last names because I like him. But he was the long snapper for us, dude, and
Really?
he played at UT. I mean, he was there for 4 years. I mean, he didn't play a down after that. Like he messed up two long snaps back to back, and it was like lost his job, which is crazy to me. How you can
Oh yeah,
like a long snapper. He messed up twice and never touched the field again, ever.
dude, that's crazy. It's funny because if you talk to people, they're like, learn to be a good long snapper, and dude, you can go make $250,000 in the NFL.
I used to be so mad at like now he actually played like other positions in football, but like I used to be so mad at like our like the specialists like the kickers and punters like dude like their practices were so stupid in high school dude
Oh,
like
dude, one of my best friends was a fucking kicker, and it pissed me off because he would be gone by 5 o'clock, and we're out there till like 6 o'clock,
dude no
and
shit
then
dude, they do like
we
did
would
like
have to work out after practice if we didn't
yeah
lift weights earlier, and they would literally go into the gym because the weightlifting coach wouldn't be in there because he was coaching. They would go in there for fucking 15 minutes, throw some weights around, do like bicep curls, and then they literally leave. And so they're gone by 5:45. And like if
dude, they,
I went
dude
and did there, I'd be at the fucking practice field till 7 o'clock.
dude my god dude these motherfuckers dude our kickers dude like they used to like be in the corner of the end zones and like just like kicking across the field back and forth it was just dumb shit and I was like what the fuck are we doing dude like your fucking practice is bullshit and I'm over here like fucking kickers. And then we'd line up for PAT, and it's like, all right, Josh, get out there. And I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, here's something I was gonna ask you. So, um, based off of your high school experience, um, what would you what if you were to go back, what would you change?
like for like, what do you mean?
Just general high school experience.
Um, like anything or sports?
Yeah, like anything classes, like you wish you cared more, you wish you would pay attention to this. Like if you were to go back, like what would or give me an athletic side and then like a non-athletic side.
Athletic side, man, dude. From athletic side, I should have taken my scholarship my senior year. I should have committed.
To
Um,
do what?
I had a full ride, dude, to chat. Turned it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, would have taken that for sure. Free college. I mean, could have done baseball and wrestling. Um, thank God I didn't. I mean, it's where I got me where I'm at now. But I definitely could. If I could have done it again, I would have went. I was so when you talk about being tired, like you said about like wrestling, that was like I hit my wall after senior year of high school because like that was when it was over, right? Like it's
Hmm.
like if you were either going to college to wrestle or you were done. Like it was like and
Well,
like
so
I'd done it so long, dude, and like I'd hit my wall and I cut from like my junior year, I cut from like 124 down to six, which wasn't bad. Then my senior year, I cut from 130 flat, and it sucked. And then after that year, dude, like the call, like chat was talking to me, and then UNC talked to me a little bit, and it was like you're gonna be, and they told me like, but like every school that I was talking to about wrestling, it was like you're gonna be a 125 pounder, and I was like, fuck, I'm like, and then they had like chat sent me like my dietitian's number, and like they were on the phone with me, like, okay, so here's our plan for you, like you're gonna walk around at like one since you're already at like 130 or 140, like you're gonna walk around it this way and then you're gonna lose this way. And I was like, dude, I'm so tired, man. Dude, I'm like, I'm done.
so so I the guy who was really good at Maryville, Chad, he uh he went down to Chattanooga and he took the scholarship. And dude, I think he only wrestled for like 1 or 2 years and then he like left. Um and and from what I've heard, not from him, but from other people, is they're like, dude, in high school you're playing football and it was fun. And they're like, once you go to college, it's a job. Like you are like I mean you seen
Wrestling,
behind the scenes, they're like, you have shit to do.
dude,
And it's like,
wrestling.
like I get it, like, they still fuck around and shit like that, especially in season. But they're like, when you're in season, it's like you gotta get your weigh-ins. You've got to know what this is. And they're like, you have to be fit, like you can't
It
just
was,
take a bullshit day and not be physical at practice. You have to be physical every single day. And they're
dude,
like,
like
you
I
get fucking beat up.
like I thought it was a job in high school because I was year round, and then like when I just like I said, when chat was like pushing hard, and it was like because I committed, I verbally committed. I was like, okay, I'm announced on like my Instagram, and I was like, go Mox, baby, whatever, and I was like,
Hmm.
here we go. And then it was like, dude, they sent me like the coaches got to the point like after I think it's like senior year when you get done, they can talk to you like officially. So like coach would talk to me and then like the dietitian would talk to me and I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, this is already a damn job, dude. Like I'm a
Yeah.
fucking 18-year-old kid.
How's your eating? Were you eating good in high school?
When it wasn't wrestling season, yeah, I ate whatever. And then when
But even
wrestling,
even in wrestling season, would you eat
oh,
like
no,
good?
no,
Like
fuck
pretty
no.
pretty clean?
Yeah, like I mean, I was clean. Like it wasn't like I didn't eat any junk food. Like I didn't drink a soda or eat any junk food during wrestling season.
Mm.
But like, dude, like my lunch consisted of like a pita bread, like peanut butter and jelly sandwich, half of a water. Um, the other half was for after practice. Um, and then I would eat like celery or something. And then like Thanksgiving, I had like a pea because we'd always go wrestle this fucking North Carolina. They used to have this tournament in North Carolina called the Fandetti fucking no, not Fandetti. It was a Falcon Frenzy. Falcon Frenzy is what it was. And dude, that tournament is always around Thanksgiving, so Thanksgiving always sucked. And then you had to go there, and they had the worst. It was a cool experience. They had this like spotlight that get on the finals mat, and the finals mat it's like the largest mat in the country, right? So like it filled a gym floor. So like if you went out of bounds, you were stalling. Like you were getting a
Hmm.
stall call if you got out of bounds on that mat. But
Yeah, that's interesting because I I don't know, man. Like it's interesting. Like I don't know. I get everything you're saying, and it's just like it's just crazy.
oh, dude, eating was not great. I mean,
Because
there's
because I because here's the thing. Like you're saying everything that you're saying, and I'm like, I would come home and there would be like a fucking oven baked pizza that we would fucking cook every night. And like my parents, they've got terrible eating habits in and of itself. But I mean, they were like fucking pizzas and like chicken nuggets and shit like that. I mean, they were like terrible with dieting. And so when I was working out in college and stuff, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start eating clean. And I was like, a lot of protein, all this other kind of stuff. And that's when I really started eating and like, dude, I lost like ton of weight. And then especially with working out and all this other kind of stuff. But I was like, God damn, like I think about like how good I could have been in high school if like I actually like ate right and like knew what to eat and everything like that.
so my mom did the healthy stuff for us because like my dad like if he was in charge of making our lunch for high school or middle school it was like you said it was like a Little Caesars $5 pizza and like
Yep.
Sprite and like chips and stuff so it was easy. But now dude it was so bad to come home and like my mom would always cook the healthy food and then I'd have to take I used to take Epsom salt baths where like mom would like we get like the tub all the way hot, put the Epsom salt in it, and then like I'd get in it, and then like we were boiling water on the stove, so like I was taking like Epsom salt baths at like 103 degrees Fahrenheit, I think.
And what
Um,
is what does that do?
Epsom salt, dude, it's the cheap. Did you not know the cheap ways around cutting weight, dude? Like, dude,
No, dude.
if you put Epsom salt, it's like the shit they put in like hot tubs, dude. It's like the
Dude, like I said, I never had to cut weight
so
except
like
for in middle school.
so dude, so weight cutting blows, dude. And so like the thing is, I mean, if you had to do a lot of
Well,
it,
I
like
I, did, I had to cut weight, but it's like a pound to two, one
yeah,
to
no,
two, three
it,
pounds.
when I was cutting like a lot of weight, like you could lose 4 pounds in Epsom salt bath in a night. Because you just get in if you just take a boiling hot one for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. I mean, you're that Epsom salt would get to your face, it'd open you up, and you'd start sweating, and then you're sitting there, it's just scorching hot. But then, dude, I got kicked out of the YMCA. I got a ban for a year from the local YMCA because
Really?
they caught me on camera and they didn't tell me until it was like they pulled me up one day. It's like, hey, can we talk to you about
Were
something?
you like jerking off to get the extra ounces out of you?
So like I used to like I would work out and then I'd go to like the steam room during because I did dual enrollment at community college and so just like any other college like your classes are like I had like two classes, but they were on the same day. So it was like Tuesday, Thursday, right? And like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I didn't have class during that time. So I could sleep in till 11 o'clock here at my house, and then drive to drive to high school and go in at 11 o'clock for my actual class that day. And so anyway, so what I did though was I would go work out at the Y during wrestling season. And when it was over, I didn't have to do that. I was just in college for like I was in community college there when it was out of wrestling season. I could just dick off. But like during wrestling season, I'd go work out, get in the steam room, lose a couple weight. And my best friend had my phone. He had my phone number, and I'd be like, hey, I need you to call me at like this time or whatever. I'm like, if I don't answer, I've passed out in the steam room, and I need you to like tell Coach Shell, and then he'll come like get me, or he'll call the Y. Like they had a deal, right? And so they caught me on camera. I think it was my senior year, so it didn't matter. But it was like early senior year. I was cutting weight, and I was in the steam room, and they like the very next day I came in there, and they were like, "Hey, can you come here real quick?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" Hey, can you explain what happened yesterday? And I was like, came in here, worked out, got in the steam room." And they're like, "No, that's not what happened." I was like, "Okay." They flip around the camera, and they had the video of me like with my hood up, and like I'm pushing an exercise bike into the steam room. I was like,
Just
I
because
was
you were working out in the steam room?
I pushed an exercise bike from their workout room.
Oh,
Like
that's fucking
I
stupid.
pushed it like 30 to 40 yards into like the steam room. And then they were like, like if you die, like we're liable for that. And I was like, yeah, but I'm like, I had a best friend that was gonna call, and they're like, yeah, dude, like you can't push like equipment from the workout room in there. I was like, sorry. And they're like, okay, like we hate to do this, but like too many people have seen it, like high ups, like corporate YMCA people saw it, like we got to ban you for a year. And I was like,
Dude, that's so dumb. That is so dumb, dude.
what?
It's just like that you get banned for that, dude. Like people like that's like hot yoga. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
was.
people do
That's what I
that.
thought it was, but they banned my dumb ass. They were like, I can go back now. I mean, I haven't been back since that. Like literally, like when they told me that, that was the last time I've been in that YMCA. Like I was like after this season, I'm like, I'm not coming back in here. And they're like, okay,
So did you have to, so let's go to the academic side. Did you, and let me start off with this. So did you have to do like a fine arts class?
yeah, dude, I was in course.
You're in course. Jesus, dude. This is so interesting.
I was a choir.
I didn't think you were in any of these.
Yeah, dude, I was in course, man. Loved course, dude. I play three instruments, dog.
Wait, you played instruments too?
I can.
Oh.
I'm saying like I didn't do like band, but like I can play guitar, piano, and drums like right
Oh.
now. Like if I wanted to, I pick around the guitar a little bit, but like I just chorus was like the fun thing to do. Like that was where like if you could like sing or like you could pick up like I mean like we had a good teacher and like she would like she'd help you like she taught us like how to like harmonize and all that crap and like it was just a fun thing, dude. Like you got two trips like every year like you either so like the chorus and the band would take trips every other year. They'd flip. So like one year the chorus would go on a cruise, and then the band the next year would go on the cruise, and then the next year the chorus would go to New York, and then the band the next year would go to New York. So you went on a cruise and then New York, and like that was the thing to do is like being the band of the chorus. I mean, you could take another fine art, but like, dude, I love chorus, man. We had the funnest time. Did we dick off all the time, dude? It was fun, dude.
So guess which one I was in?
You're a band kid, weren't you?
Yeah, I was the band kid. Dude, I fucking
What'd you
hated
play?
band. Guess.
Um, I want to go with percussion, but you don't give me
No.
percussion vibes.
Dude, I can't fucking I've got no rhythm.
Were you a tuba player, bro?
No. Close.
Trumpet,
No.
sax,
No.
trombone.
Yeah.
Dude, a trombone player, man, dude, that's
Dude,
crazy.
I hated fucking band. Dude, like if looking back, I'd be like, that's one thing if I could just
So,
not do, I would not do.
so I didn't do band. I did band for 2 years in middle school.
Mm.
Because I had like my parents were like, hey, like like you can play like because like obviously like they had like jazz band, but you had to be in like eighth grade or like high school to be in it. So I couldn't play guitar or like piano, and they're like, well, hey, you play piano, like percussion is piano, so it's like go do that. And I knew how to play drums, so I was like, okay, yeah, that's great, dude. I fucking hated band because I did band and chorus in middle
Mm.
school because I did chorus ever since I was in like elementary school. So I was like, I was doing both those fine arts, and then I just got tired of band. I was like, fuck this, dude. So eighth grade, I just did chorus, and um then I did like football and stuff, but like it was just hell on earth, like trying to do everything. And so I was just like, whatever, like, this shit sucks. But dude, yeah, dude, the fine arts, man, dude, that's
See,
hilarious.
dude, I couldn't
dude, we used to
I
have the
could read music, and I still like reading music. Like I can kind of get it and everything. But
so
dude,
we had
I couldn't fucking play music.
so,
I couldn't count and like
yeah.
do any of that
Oh,
shit.
I can read it like great, but like so we used to have so we had this auditorium called the Impact. It's the Nice Longer Performing Arts Center in Greenville, and it was connected to the high school. But dude, it had like the chorus room, dude, because it was like it's away from the high school. Like you had to walk through a bunch of halls, and like the chorus room was there, and then like dude, we had like elite facilities, like a great auditorium. The bathrooms there were like because the bathrooms are made for like celebrities that come in there and play at the art
Yeah.
center. Like, we'd have like you know like REO Speedwagon or like Leonard Skinner would come in and play like once a year or something there. But like the bathroom had to be good for them, so like we had these elite level bathrooms, which is funny because we used to have these two chorus dudes were like fucking their girlfriends in there like every other day.
So you're gonna think this is funny. So freshman year, I did football, wrestling, track, and I did uh band. So dude, freshman year, if
Ball
you
player
were
that
not on the
like
varsity
were
team,
you the ball player wearing your equipment out there like playing the band, dude, or like
yeah, dude. So I fucking did the marching shit like one or two games, and the rest of it I was like strictly up in the stands playing. And dude, I fucking hated it. I hated every fucking second of it. And then you had to do the music in the spring and the winter,
oh
and
yeah, the
I
winter concerts and
hated it.
dude.
I didn't like this thing is I didn't mind the music part, but I was like I hate fucking playing it. I hate practicing for it. I hate doing all this stuff because I was like I couldn't read it, and I felt like I am only here to do this because I did not want to do um I didn't want to do art. I didn't want to we didn't really have a lot of people that did choir, but I was like I don't want to do orchestra and I don't want to do theater. And I was like god damn it, this is the only thing. And if I were to go back, I wouldn't even fucking do it. And the last thing that my band teacher said to me, he gave me an ultimatum. He said, "Hey, we're not going to have football players do band anymore. You have to pick." Because initially I was like, maybe I'll think about, I was thinking about maybe still doing the band thing. Um, but he's like, you got to pick. It's either football or band. And I sat there and I was like, dude, I never made my goddamn decision up sooner than that. I was like, football.
Dude, I
And
used to
I
be the
was
most
like, fuck you. I don't want to see you ever again. You can eat shit. And the way he said it to me was almost kind of like, hey, like, you've got to pick because you can't do both because you couldn't be good at both. And I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker.
yeah.
I was like, I'm not good at this shit, so
Dude.
you can go fuck yourself because I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Dude, it's like, dude, no, dude. So for chorus, it was funny. Like, we never had to do the whole, like, I never did, like, I didn't do band in high school, so I didn't have to worry about, like, marching at halftime. But now, the chorus usually, like, would do, like, the national anthem, like, two different games a year, and,
Yeah.
like, I'd have to, like, go out there with them for that. But, like, other than that, I just didn't give a fuck, dude. Like, I don't know. I liked chorus, but I was just there to dick off. And, like, dude, there were some bad bitches in the chorus at Greenville,
Really?
dude. My God, dude.
Dude, see, we didn't have. Oh God, dude,
I mean, I had zero chance with any of them, but it was like,
you
dude.
know. So here. Let me ask you a question. So you went to ETSU, right? And then
Mhm.
you've been around UT enough to kind of know.
Yeah.
Would you say that there were more attractive people in your high school than what you see as a normal person at ETSU?
So, but if I'm being a Buffett, I wish I'd have went to UT. That was my original plan after not doing sports. And my best friend, me, were gonna go. And then he ends up playing collegiate golf at Walter State. He did like JUCO, like community college golf.
Hmm.
And so I wasn't gonna go to UT without him. So then I literally was like a last minute, like applied to ETSU. Didn't have time for scholarships. It was like they accepted me and they're like, hey, like we don't have anything. Like literally, I met with them. I was like, hey, like I sorry, like I was gonna go wrestle at Chat. And then I decided not to do sports, so I was going with my best friend to UT. Like this is very last minute. Is there anything I can get? They're like, no, dude. Like we'll let you in, but like they're like you ain't getting shit. So I was like, that's fine. I'll just do that. But I wish I went to UT because like I've been on UT's campus, had enough friends there. Hell, I've probably spent more time at UT like as far as just like out and about than I did at ETSU, but definitely more attractive in college, dude. Like just more.
So why do you think that's interesting? Is it like why do you think it's interesting that this has nothing to do with politics or anything we normally talk about, but why do you think that uh I guess like why do you think that like now that you're in college, there's more attractive people than there would be in your high school? Like why do you think that's the case? Is it just a numbers game or what?
I think mainly it's a numbers game. It's like, dude, like you have. you know, infinite more choices. And then B, it's like, not to be like, I'm not trying to be pervy about it, but like, you're talking about like, in high school, there's like the adolescent part of it where like guys are starting to get, horny and like girls are girls. But then in college, you get to the point where like both sexes are away from home, like,
Yeah.
you know, shit's gonna happen more. So it's like, the
So that
attraction.
that's one of the reasons why I didn't date anybody in high school because it's like like it's like what the fuck is going on here, and like you couldn't spend the night at someone else's place. You're basically like
Yeah.
you're still kind of like a child.
Oh, I mean, dude,
You don't have any independence. You don't have any
like,
of this other kind of
like my
stuff. So you're not
relationships
really seeing them.
my high school relationships weren't even halfly real. Like I said, the only
Yeah,
one that was real was like my sophomore year, and it was like you said, my parents were dropping me off at the movies. Like it was like
yeah.
I couldn't drive, and then my senior year, I'm dating a girl in Meigs County. Like we see each other like once every other week, and it was like, you know,
And it's almost like you got custody, right?
yeah, dude, we definitely did. Felt like that at least, and then it was like this is stupid. But then college, it gets here, and then it's like that's like where you're like you said, you're actually seeing someone. It's like your
Yeah.
independence is there. It's like you know, at the time I was like, I'm working a job. I wasn't making shit. Like I was broke. I was a broke fuck, dude. But I was like, we can eat McDonald's or Pals in the car.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and honestly, dude, some of the best people I dated in um college were completely understanding of that. Like they did not care. Like the girls that I would date, they'd be like I remember one of them was like, I'm not gonna get like I don't want to go anywhere super nice because I know that like your parents are giving you this money to basically take me out on a date, which
I
wasn't true. But I was like, hey, you want a cheap dinner? Like we'll get you a cheap dinner.
I think I only had three relationships in college, and like two of them were like situational, like situationships
Mm.
or
I think
before
I had like
situations.
4 or 5, I think.
Like I had I had one that was like a long term situationship where it was like we were like a thing. Like it's like if we were ever at the same function together, like we were together, and then like we'd go like on a date like every now and then. And then I had one that was like a weird situationship. Like it was like a 3 month like summer thing, and then it just kind of like once the summer ended, it was like we got back and it was like we'll do like our own things. And then obviously then I dated Ava, and that was like my first like real relationship ever, where it was like a legit like you're actually like investing your time and like trying to be a relationship versus like not just like the frat boy over here like chilling.
Yeah. So I think I had six,
Jesus,
six
dude.
or seven. Um.
My
Well, but
man.
you had one of those be six, including Abby, right? So you had one of those being uh summer fling. The other one basically being like a 1 semester thing. Like it wasn't like they weren't like super long. They were like two
Yeah,
or three
yeah,
months.
yeah.
Um,
Same.
but even then, dude, like I remember like I just remember it was like I could text them and be like, "Hey, you want to fucking come over and like let's just hang out tonight," or whatever it is. Like it was just so much more like it seemed like there weren't any barriers. And I remember in like high school, it was like, "Hey, you want to come out or come hang out or do whatever?" And it'd be like, "Well, let me check with my parents." And I was like, dude, like that's the shit where I was like, fuck that. Like I don't need to fucking check with your parents. I don't need to fucking check with your old man if I'm gonna take you out. If you want to go out and I want to go out, let's fucking go out. And so for
Yeah,
me, I was like, I'm
that's
not
why
fucking doing any of that shit. I'm just
I
gonna
did
wait till
like college
college.
dating, like you said, because like the barriers are gone. It's like at
Yeah.
that point, it's like like in college, hell, I don't think me and Ava met either one of each other's parents for like a month or two. It was like we would like dating, and then it was like then it got to the point where it was like we hit that like right before the 3 months. It's like hey, it's probably time to go like see some parents.
See, for me, it was like 3 months in. I was
We
like maybe 3 or 4. I was like, I'm not fucking meeting your parents for like for 3 or 4 months. Because
yeah,
I was like, I don't give a shit. Like now I was trapped into meeting one bitch's parents. That fucking pissed me off. I
I've
went
done
to
that.
go hang out with her, and she's like, hey, like her sister was or her cousin was in the band, and so she's like, hey, you want to go fucking watch my cousin do the band thing? I was like, fucking fine, dude. I was trying to get laid, and I was like, dude, I was still a fucking virgin. I was like, God damn it, like I need to fucking like I'm like anything I can, and so we go
My
to
man
her
was
cousin's
down bad.
place
Just
to
down bad.
watch. We go to her cousin's game or whatever and watch them play, and it was maybe
A high
about
school
30
thing?
minutes away. And dude, like
Is it a high school
three
thing?
quarters of the way there in college, but her cousin was in high school.
Okay, yeah, that's
Um,
what I'm talking
about three-quarters of the way there, she's like, "Oh, just wanted to let you know that my parents are here." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And so like, dude, I was wearing a fucking Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon jacket, and
Jesus.
I was in like cargo pants. Like I was not trying to fucking meet anybody. I thought we were just gonna go
Like
hang
whatever's
out.
coming off the quickest. Like he's like whatever.
Oh yeah, dude. And I'm sitting there, and then she's like, "Here's my parents," and fuck, because it was also the first time I ever met anyone's parents. And I was like, I should have fucking prepared for this shit, you know. And then
God.
honestly, after that, I was like, fuck these people. I don't need anybody's goddamn approval, you know. No,
Yeah.
nobody ever didn't have any issues, but I was like, dude, I just hated the parent thing. Where it's like, okay, we gotta meet my parents and see if they like you. It's
Yeah.
like fuck you, like you know, like I don't need these people to give me permission.
That's funny, dude. Because so I was in the same situation. So I was a virgin in college too, and I was trying so hard, like my freshman sophomore year. I was like, please, I was like, come on, I can figure this out. And like, I gave up, dude. Like I, I at the
It's
point,
tough.
dude, because like you kind of like have like realization moments where you do shit like you just said, where like you catch yourself whacking, like you're like, I'm actually going to fucking some high school 30 minutes away, or like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play Settlers of Catan with like her and her grandma. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, you know, she wants to go do some retirement. You know, she wants to go volunteer somewhere. And you're like, fuck, like let's just do it. You know, like I'm trying to get some.
dude, I had to go to an old people. I had to go to a nursing home one time.
Jesus, dude. Well, so I got a buddy. He went to ETSU as well.
Again, didn't get anything out of it. By the way, I'm just gonna be a.
Well, I know, and that's the thing is, so like my buddy who goes to ETSU, dude, he kind of he's still stuck in the same bullshit. Like he has to deal with this, and he'll go and see his crazy ex girlfriend
Yeah,
and you know they kind of got this situationship thing that he's doing now, and he's like he turns his location off because he doesn't want anyone to see, but he leaves it on for me because he knows that so they're in a long distance relationship, so they're
yeah.
like he doesn't see her ever, and so he'll go up there and I'll be like, are you going up there to get laid? And he's like, yes, dude, I'm dying out here, you know, everything like that, and like
Where's
he
he
was
at though?
telling me
Where's he?
well, I'm just saying is like so that like reminded me of just like how it's just like yeah you'll fucking do anything like
Yeah,
when
dude.
like in
I was trying to.
college and whatnot it was like it's like I'll do anything like anything you want to go to a nice dinner I'll pay for it you know like
Yeah.
if there's a chance there's a chance.
So I don't know about UT. Did UT like? I mean, it's obviously it's a big college. Like you got like it's University of Tennessee. So like, but it felt like college. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, so
So
it's
like,
interesting. I
the
thought UT was a
ETSU,
good size.
ETSU to me, like it kind of like it's like if you took it's like a boarding school of high school is what it was to me because like it was very like high school vibey. Like the issue with
Yeah, I've
ETSU
heard that.
is ETSU is a little too small for like my liking. Like UT, like you said, is a good size, but like ETSU was it was still so small that like the girls were still after like the same three or four dudes. So like it was really
Mm.
hard to like it was hard to kind of make any motion or anything, like unless you were in a frat and then like you had to get like super lucky and like someone had to like just think you were funny or like you. Especially in my case, dude, like I had so many damn battles I had to beat to get any where I was at. It's with a girl there,
So
like Jesus.
so it's funny you say that because I've heard that before about ETSU. Is that it's kind of like high school, not high schooly, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of small. Where at UT, like honestly, dude, like you like I remember and maybe this is involved in so much shit. I would see a lot of the same people every day.
Yeah.
Um, but it's kind of like at the same time it did feel small. And because like I remember when I graduated, I knew just about all the engineers in not
I
only
mean,
my department but in the whole college. Like there's like
yeah,
700 of us, I think.
yeah.
And so like I kind of knew just about everyone who was in there.
But I'm
But
telling you, like, ETSU was worse, dude. It was definitely like it's just high school. I mean, it's because I mean it's just a small. I mean, hell, it's in Johnson City. Like Science Hill is there. Like it's a high school town. Like it's not like a you know.
so
It's not,
do you think you knew a lot of people in the Greek community?
I
Like
knew
you kind of
everybody.
knew like all like who people were and like
So
what
I
sorority and
got
stuff.
yeah, no, I knew them all, dude. And like I remember like my freshman and sophomore year, I was like active, dude. I was like IFC. I was exec on in the fraternity. Like I was the only one in my fraternity that had any form of a relationship with the KDs because they used to hate SAE ETSU, and then I kind of mended that relationship because they liked me. I was the Shamrock guy, dude. I was the sweetheart for KD, bro. But I used to, yeah, I like, and that was cool and all, but like, it was more like I was like they treated me like I was just like the little brother best friend of it. Like it wasn't like I
Yeah.
was like I wasn't like getting hit up like yo like let's like you know
So, yeah, UT Greek life, like I kind of knew, I kind of knew a lot, like just about everybody, like I said, just about everyone who was my age, I kind of knew, and who were like active in their organization. Like I kind of knew them. But I'll say, dude, I didn't start my fraternity till junior year,
oh yeah
and
you
so like freshman and sophomore year, where I felt like I could have really have known a lot of people, um, I didn't, just because like they, it just didn't happen. Because the freshman sophomore year is where you really meet everybody.
yeah no I mean and we had that too. I mean like I said I just joined because I had no friends there. Like everybody from like my high school, like we had some that go, but like it was people that like I either like knew who they were, but like I wasn't like friends. Like all my friends went other places, like got gone. Like they either went to UT or got gone. And so like for me, it was like I was alone, so I was like, I'll just join a frat. At least it's somewhat you kind of forcing your way into making friends. I was like, yeah, I'll just do that, and I did that. It
How
was
much
like
were your dues?
600, 700 a month.
That's
That's
not bad.
wasn't bad. Um, it
But
wasn't
would
bad.
you say that money's worth it?
I liked it. I mean, I would
I
recommend
do
it.
too. Yeah.
It's a great way. Like I said, you do kind of get in that forced friendship, and it's fun to go through pledgeship. Like it's one of those like semesters where it's like the funnest thing you never want to do again.
Yeah.
Um, so
I always thought doing the fraternity thing was fun and like, like especially as a guy, like I will say as a girl, that's a completely different conversation. But as like a guy, like, you know, like I think we were paying like $800 in dues, like the second semester or something like that. And I think
that's
we got all the way up to 1,200, but dude, we had a house,
we had a
we were spending money on booze, we were doing, like we
we had
had
a
plenty of money to do stuff.
we had a disgusting satellite house, dude.
Yeah. And so but like
Absolutely
I always
atrocious.
I, I always felt like a fraternity was almost all about having fun. And I feel like a sorority was all about fitting in, you know? And I felt like with the fraternity stuff, I'm like, I'd totally do it again. If anything, I would join sooner. But I was like, that money, like, and my parents were paying for it, for most of it.
Okay.
But I was like, it's not that much money, like it's not like a crazy amount per semester. And I was working and I paid most of it off anyway. But it's just not that much. And I feel like it was probably some of the better money I spent in college. But you guys were SAE, so you guys only had like 40. How big were you guys?
We were deep. So they're not deep anymore, dude. They used to be like because COVID hurt, and then we had a kid that got shot. But so we were like at like our peak, which would have been my freshman year. That was the last like normal like bid day right before COVID, when it was like still what it used to be.
Mhm.
And because after COVID, dude, like now, like I remember like taught like a couple of my part timers last year were college kids at ETSU and UT, and like they were like, dude, like there's so many like after COVID, they started putting so many rules and caps on things. Like it
Hmm.
used to be kind of wide open, and like we had like 30 or 40 deep at ETSU at one point. Like that was like the peak of it, and then my going into my second semester freshman year, I was an older brother. Finally, I was an active, and that pledge semester gets cut because of COVID, and we essentially had like 2 semesters of just like whoever like said they were going to pledge, like there really wasn't much of a pledge. It was like you just kind of got in,
Yeah.
um, you know, which I never did because I'm like you need to get
What
hate. But
what's so crazy is when we first started, we were on campus for 3 semesters, fall, spring, fall, before we got rechartered.
yeah,
The biggest we were was 69 guys. And now my chapter is up to like 180 guys right now. It is like fucking huge. And dude, like one of the things I was telling, dude, they had a 70-person pledge class, I think 2 years ago. And I'm like, and I was sitting there and I was talking to somebody, to one of the vice presidents who does our recruiting. And I was like, it's like, dude, let me tell you something. I was like, you got to make sure all these guys coming in are top tier guys, you know? Because, like, you know how easy it is to, like, kind of get some shitheads in there. And, like,
Dude.
40 people is tough to manage. And I'm like, having pledges do that shit, like, that's
So
tough.
so we let like they let the ball slip, and here's my issue though. Like I'm all for getting good guys in there too, but like in a way, like like don't get like so like like you can't have too many like fucking meatheads or shitheads in there too,
Hmm.
because they'll fucking burn the place down. But like
But you want to have a good mix of everybody.
you need some meatheads though, man. Like
Yeah.
I missed having the dudes that were like fucking jacked and popular and were getting every damn girl. Like because it's like at least like the nerds that we were like bringing along to like be like cool dudes, like at least like you had like a good level and mix of it. Because
Yeah.
you get too meatheady, it gets bad. Then if you get too nerdy, you're just fucking dorks.
So did
Uh,
you have gay kids in your fraternity?
no, thank God. There was a
We
fraternity,
we had we had three or two officially and one in the closet.
dude. So I don't know how y'all did voting, but if you ever seen the movie Animal House, that's exactly how we did voting.
That's basically how we did it. I mean,
We
honestly, so
were
at
sitting in the
UT, it
satellite
was they
house.
did like a sorority thing, but that last day or two, like yeah, it's like fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. We want him, and then like that's exactly how we would do it. We start from top to bottom.
Dude, so yeah, that's what we would do. But like, we had the beer and like shit. Like, we'd be sitting there like drinking beer in the satellite house, voting on these kids. Be like, yeah, no, yeah. But anytime we had like a kid that was like sus, it was
So,
like we did
um,
have this one dude though that was like fucking. I don't know. One of our, so I was VP, and that we had two VPs. We had external and internal. I was external, but our internal VP, he loved this one kid. Like this kid, literally like he showed up and like our VP, man, dude, I'm not gonna say names because I don't want to be that guy, but like, he just loved this kid, and this kid was fucking psycho, dude. Like, this kid was like, could be a serial killer. Like, this kid was psycho, and he had like this bad anger issue, dude. Like he was just crazy. And
what's funny is I don't think any of the guys you're talking about are the guys I know that are SAE at ETSU.
no, you knew Clay,
Do you know Pierce?
Pierce Vaughn. I love Pierce, dude.
Yeah, so he's a Maryville kid.
I knew
He
Pierce.
graduated with me. Do you know a Timothy or Timmy? Was that Timmy Callahan?
I
You
know
guys,
the name, but don't know him.
so he was there. Tyler Zawinski, so
Yeah,
Zawinski.
yeah, I did know Tyler.
So he's another Maryville guy.
Pierce,
He hung
Pierce,
out with Lucas Blair. You
huh?
know Lucas?
Yeah.
So he's a friend of mine. He's the one who I usually tailgate with.
Pierce like a cool dude in like high school.
Who?
Pierce.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was like everybody liked Pierce. Um, he wasn't like I don't know if I'd say he's like super popular, but like he was definitely like everybody liked him.
There's his like room, dude. His roommate, fucking dude. He's to this day nuts. This guy's an alum, and
What's his
he like
name?
Daniel something. I'm not gonna go into last names, dude. I'm not putting that out on the internet for me to
Well,
die.
dude, that's the thing is I may know him. I may have gone to high school with him.
Okay. You know what? Screw it. I'll pay for it if I do. But his name was Daniel Ring. Um,
Daniel who?
Daniel Ring,
No, I don't
Ring.
know.
Anyway, so Daniel though, he was dude. So he was not. He's an alum, by the way. Like he went alum before I even got there.
Hmm.
Like he was like one of the alums. He would come to like a couple of meetings here and there as an alum, but dude, he ends up becoming our he became our like alumni chair. So because the guy that right before him was just old as sin, right? And was
Yeah.
not involved. And we kept complaining. We said we wanted a alumni chair more involved. But then Ring comes in, dude, and dude, he's like too involved, bro. Like he was like he was like nuts, dude. Like still
Was he
is.
really?
Yeah, dude, he'll text me some like dumb shit, dude. Like he texted me like last year, and he was like, hey brother, just you know want to know if you're gonna make like the alumni like tailgate or something. I'm like, no, Daniel, I'm not coming to that. I'm busy, man, dude. Like, no offense, it's ETSU. If it's UT, it'd be different, but like, I'm not coming to no alumni tailgate at ETSU.
I not for ETSU, dude, just because it's like ETSU, man, is just kind of like it's just like it's not super fun.
It's not, dude. Like I'm not going back to tailgates. Like this girl I was talking to actually last year, me and her went to ETSU together. She's at LMU vet school now. And I love her to death, like, but like she's like, I want to go back to my to the homecoming tailgate so bad. You want to go with me? And I was like, no. She's like, well, I'm like, if they're playing fucking Wofford, I'm like, I'm like I'm not about to go watch because dude, ETSU like FCS football is unless you're watching North Dakota State, it's terrible football.
Yeah.
Like it's horrendous to watch. I'm like, I'm not gonna go day drink in Johnson City at like because it's always like homecoming was always like an early game. It's always like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
kick. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not like
Well,
UT plays like Florida that week, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking Florida. Like, you're
Well,
crazy.
and that's the thing. So my buddy Justin, he ended up lucking out because my wedding was the same weekend that the ETSU homecoming was, and so I was like it's a perfect chance to like come in and you're doing some other stuff, so you're not just doing that. Because like for me, I'm like, I would, we don't care about the homecoming, like with Abby and I, like we don't go to those, like we go to the games, we watch the game, and usually we're out by in 10 minutes. Like it's not something we really want to stick around for and make a big deal of.
Yeah, no, dude, no, I get that. Yeah, like I said, I don't dig too much into the homecoming stuff, man. I was the kid, dude, that like, no, I don't mean it like sadistic way, but like I really just like, cause like I have no vengeance or like I'm not trying to get revenge on anybody, but like I really just kind of like let my success speak now.
Hmm.
It's like I didn't get like bullied or picked on, but like it was definitely like I was definitely in like the minority crowd at ETSU where it was like I wasn't like you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
wasn't
but like be more specific. Like what
wasn't
would you
like
not do?
like I wasn't like super popular. Didn't really like get to didn't like I didn't like have like a lot of girls trying to talk to me. Like I had to work for it. Like and then like if I did try to like do something, like it always like felt like I was like being a burden. So I just got tired of it. And so then I
But
just
here's the thing, dude, is like I feel like that's more people than you would think.
no, it's a lot more. But what I did though is like I just didn't want to be the guy that like I didn't want to be the guy that had to like look back like and like be at a job or like not finish school or take you know a decade to finish school and like not have anything to show for it like unless you're like doing something like worthy like what you or like me are doing now. But like I was like you know what I'm gonna get to work. So I went. I knew I'd been in politics a little bit, just like with like small stuff, and I just kind of made it my mission. I kind of went ghost mode. Like my last 2 years at college, like I became like the ghost brother. Like I got into like the superlative awards. They like I got the Where's Waldo award because like I was just never around. Like I was always working. I was on a campaign like in Texas at one point. I was on campaigns there, here, everywhere, Georgia
But
once.
but the thing
Um,
is, dude, is like you gotta have those guys too. Just as you gotta have the meatheads. Like you've like
oh yeah, yeah,
some of my best friends, like I mean, he was doing internships and he was
yeah.
in
And that
clubs,
was
he was doing all this other kind of stuff. And one was the fucking SGA president at UT. And
yeah,
we're like, hey dude, like you're busy. Like we get it,
yeah,
you
yeah. No,
know?
that was me. And like, and the thing is
Now
like,
he says try to show up to the social events, but that was it.
which is like funny now because like I'll go to like I'll go to like one of those like baseball games they have up there at Johnson City. Like they have like the
Hmm.
boys up there, and I'll go up there like because I have some part timers that like they're like, oh man, dude, can you come up? Like we want to hang out because like they're like late college, so like I'm still kind of in their age range where it's like we can be kind of cordial. I'll come up and I'll hang out with them a little bit, and like I'll see like dudes that were in like my fraternity that are still like just kind of around
Oh,
John.
they're still hanging around. Yeah. Dude,
Well, it's
that's
like
me going back to Maryville.
yeah, dude, right? But like they're still like hanging around like John City, and I'm because like instead of high school, like college was their like glory time.
Yeah.
And like they're like, dude, I'm trying to do what you do. Like you're traveling all the time to this. I'm just like, I'm busy, man. It's great, whatever.
Well, and that's what I didn't understand is like, I mean, I told people I was like, look, like you just need people just don't understand how to balance the two. You know what I mean? They're like I told people I'm like go to class, get decent grades and you're fine. Like you'll be fine. And like if especially if you're a good person, your interpersonal stuff will speak. But I'm like you got to go to fucking class. Like there were so many fucking people where it's like, dude, just go
Oh
to
god,
fucking class to get the clicker points, and then you won't be on academic probation. It's just
yeah,
like it's like
right.
Jesus
That's a real
Christ, dude. Like come on,
that was a real thing for sure.
dude. And I think our first semester, I swear to God, dude, we had maybe like 10 guys below like a 2.0.
Never
And I'm
got
like, I'm
that.
like, really? And I'm like, fuck, guys, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, man, I was lucky, dude. My last like I'm gonna do my last two semesters were tough because so I tried to cram uh because I was originally gonna graduate in the spring of 23,
Hmm.
but I ended up cramming to graduate. I had there's a reason there, but I crammed so I could graduate in 22, and that was a tough time, dude. That was interesting. That sucked. That semester sucked, dude, I had so many classes. I was taking like 15 hours working a part time fucking job, dude. It was so bad.
Oh, dude, that was, I mean, that was me.
Worst thing I've
From,
done in my life, bro. And I worked a
so,
shitty job too. I hated
from,
it.
spring of sophomore year all the way through the time I finished college, I was doing like 20 plus credit hours a semester.
Good God.
And I was like, I think my senior year, followed my senior year, I think I was doing like 24 or 25. And like I said, college was completely different. And like for me, like our upper level biomedical engineering classes were fucking bullshit. And so like that's kind of just distorts it a little bit. But like for me, I was like, hey, like I want to learn about drug delivery. Even though it's like not a class I have to take, I want to learn more about it, so I'll take it. And like I started like just being like interested in stuff. Because I was like these are the classes I really wanted to learn about, like when I was in undergrad. And I started just taking a bunch of those classes and like it's tough, but like, like you said, like you took a bunch of credits and you were doing all this other kind of stuff and you working a part-time job. Like I was doing my thing. I was in organizations and I was doing all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, I was like, people do it all the time. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah,
some
no,
people are just like lazy and it's just like they just don't like it's almost like you did something that was tough, but it's like anybody could do that. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people, especially with guys in the fraternity and all this other kind of stuff, they just don't apply themselves. You know what I
dude,
mean?
we had like two dudes. Like one of my pledge brothers just graduated, and we were pledge brothers in 2019. And like,
Jesus.
well, he like dropped out like twice. Like, and he was like coming around to fraternity stuff, and like the whole time, like I didn't know. I mean, I was just like chilling. I come to find out the motherfucker, like, because he was dropped out of college. I'm like, you're not an active brother. You
Yeah.
just went to
You're not
fraternity.
supposed to be around here.
Well, you can be. I mean,
Well,
you
I mean, it's not frowned upon, but it's like, it's weird if you're not, like, if you didn't graduate, you probably shouldn't be coming back around.
no, like he was showing up like while like we were like all in school, and we like the whole time I thought he was still in school, and then I came to find out like I think it was like last year after I'd been out of college for like a semester. I was like, or no, 2 years ago. That's 2023. Shit, I'm getting old. Um, but I was like, it was like 2023. I'd been out of college for like a semester, and then like I came up there for some because I think I went to talk to them about my job. I was like, hey, if anybody wants to do this, I was coming to my fraternity first. I was like, give y'all some priority. Like if y'all want to do like, I have some part time positions open. I was paying good money. I was like, I just want to give some of y'all an opportunity that didn't have a job right now. And he was still there, and I was like, hey, like, how's school going? He's dropped out, and I was like, how long you been dropped out? Like 2 years. You were coming to shit when I was here, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But okay, whatever. But I don't know, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's weird sometimes, but I don't know, man. It's just it is weird. I don't know.
Do you think, one last thing before we close this out, um, do you, what do you think is the reason why people our age are not more involved in Greek life after they graduate?
I think COVID hurt a lot for sure.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I mean, Greek life, like, so there's so many rules on it now, and then like dues are super expensive now, and it's just like I don't know. Like it kind of comes in waves, you know. Like Greek life's cool, then it's not, then it's cool, then it's not.
So I think the way the rules part is 100% there. UT was terrible with that.
Dude,
Where I was like we could have so much more fun if we got rid of these fucking rules. And
or
we wouldn't kill anybody. Like it's just like, hey, we want to party here instead of there. But what I think is just so interesting is like I think with Greek life, I mean, I think it's still growing and everything like that, but I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like I think it's fine, but I don't know. Um so do you think that well, I guess let me go back to that. So I think one of the issues is that people are still active in their fraternity. but it's almost kind of like one level down, right? Like you probably are closer friends with people from your pledge class than you are from just your whole fraternity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so, um, I think that's still there. I mean, like most of my best friends at my wedding were fraternity brothers, you know? And so I think that happens, but it's on like a much smaller, almost like a friend group level than it is anything else.
No, for sure is.
And so I'm like people are still active and doing stuff. They're just not doing it with their letters on, you know?
Sure. Oh, dude, I got hit on by a gay city girl like 2 days ago, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who is it?
I mean, nobody, but her name's also Abby, coincidentally, which is funny.
Hmm. Well, Abby probably knows her, so
Taking a page out of your book here, I
oh
guess.
yeah. So here's the thing I need your help. What the fuck do we title this?
Yeah, because it's kind of just we just kind of like chilled, really.
Well, so I was thinking about maybe starting like a playlist and just almost just like calling it like Culture Wars, you know,
Yeah,
or something like that, and just
you know,
just
it's
like just
like
talking
this.
about anything, you know?
Like I like doing this every now and then, like where
Yeah,
it's just like not really necessarily political agenda. We're just kind of talking about like regular life stuff, like just relatable to everything.
yeah. So like, what would you title that though?
I'd be like um, high school and college glory days.
Well,
Um,
but I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking about making it like a playlist where it's like this is all like if people just want to see that, they can go there. If they want to see something
yeah, I
else,
mean,
it's
I,
like
I would just say
maybe like Man Cave or something.
you know, like facing the world would be this kind
Mm.
of stuff where it's like just talking about like life issues that affect us all.
Okay, yeah, I'll think about something and I'll throw it your way and
This,
see
this was
get your
fun though. We
input.
gotta do this again, dude. That was
Well, that's
fun.
what I mean. I mean, just bullshitting and just talking and stuff. So,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
love it, dude. Yeah, it's just it's different, man, dude. It's
But
but
what's interesting is it's like when you
I'm just
talk about high school and stuff, especially like with you and I, like we've got similar backgrounds. We
yeah,
almost have like similar experiences with like the same shit that happened, like people fucking the trainer. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like the same fucking shit,
We had
even
like
though
like
we went to schools like two
nobody
hours
has
away.
nobody has an original experience. It's like
Yeah.
I will say this though, dude. Like the thing that I would like we can close after this too, but I think it's crazy. Like just like I remember being like when I was younger, like just thinking like, man, like like you see these adults like that would like make fun of like if you were in a relationship or like talking to a girl, it's like and like they'd make fun. It's like, oh, this is childish, and like you're like, what? And then like I get to like I'm here at like 24, 25 now, and I'm like, wow, that really was childish, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, dude,
cause like
that's the worst.
cause like the older you get, like when I hit like 21, you're still on that cusp where it's like you're like talking to like 20, 19 year olds, and then you get to like 22, and like you start really like you don't really have time for the bullshit anymore. It's like
Yeah.
it's like okay, dude, like no.
I say anyone under the age of 23, like it's almost like amnesty for what you did, you know, or thought before, you know. Like you're 18, you know, you probably did some stupid shit. You know, it's like you don't need to be kind of like get in trouble for that.
I pardon anybody like so under the age of 25 for that shit. Like once you hit 23 or 24, it's like
Yeah.
that's not I'm like you're in the real world now. It's like we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's like usually reality is kind of hit you. And
yeah,
it's like,
like
okay, like, you know,
through
you got to start finding out how do you actually pay taxes,
you
you
know,
know, and it's like,
like you
okay.
said, like it's like you got to pay taxes, man. You got life. You got to work. You got to wake up every day and work.
Yeah.
You're dealing with relationships. You're going through heartbreaks. Going through the whole drill. I mean, it's an interesting things with it. But
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and
do
end it
you
here.
need 2025 goals before we pop off, or you?
Oh, like my personal goals?
Yeah, like I mean, I'm not.
Okay. Dude,
Yeah,
honestly, what my I think my goal that I really didn't think about it, but the one that, you know, I even talked to Abby about was like my goal is to add miles onto my runs. So I'm like I usually be able to do 4 or 5, and maybe I'll take a break for a quarter mile and rest like in between. So for me, it's like my goal is just to run more, and have it kind of connected and you know just nonstop. That was literally the only goal I have this year, and I think because I'm like that's kind of reasonable, you
for
know.
sure.
What about
Easy.
you?
2025 goals. I want to start. Um, I want to start a college group at UT. I want
I'll
to.
help you with that.
Yeah, I need that. I want to get ETSU to the point where I can, because so I got approved to hire kind of a manager under me that would manage ETSU for me, so I don't have to like keep going up there all the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Um, So essentially, like, which is funny because like eventually, I mean, I could just be like sitting on my ass on my
Yeah, I know,
secretary.
dude. You're a fucking manager. You're just like, go do this, go do this.
But dude, like, well, like, it's like my part-time program started back up today. This kid was calling me, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, dude, you did this before. And he goes, yeah. He's like, you just walk me. I walked him through the survey, and I'm like, dude, like, if you need it, just. And he was like talking about his payroll, and I'm like, hey, can you just talk to Taylor and just tell her what you need? Like, she'll get you
Yeah.
in touch with the payroll company. And like, it's just like, dude, I'm like, but I mean, I'm getting ready for, this year, but I guess like, so my goal is to do that for sure. Like, get the college group at UT and ETSU, kind of where they're stable on their own. And then personal goals, I want to work out a lot more this year. I want to get back to
Yep.
like I lost all the weight that I wanted to lose, and I'm like slimmed, but like I want to get like my figure back. I want to get a little cut where I start looking a little bit more attractive. And then ideally, I'd like to get back into a relationship this year. It's been a minute.
Mm.
I went through my phase of, I remember like when me and Ava broke up, I told myself, I was like, I'm taking a year off. Like I told
Yeah.
myself that. I was like, I'm not. I didn't want to talk to like a female in like other than just like being cordial or like, like if someone was just like, hey, I don't mind to have like a small conversation. But I was like, I'm not. Don't want to go on dates. Didn't want to be in it. Like I wanted to focus on myself for a year, and I did that. And then 2023 got here. I went through that. That was my year. Was going through 2023. 2024 started, and I was like, I'm open to conversation. Went on a few dates here and there, and then I learned a lot. Like I like it's funny when you sit back and like you let yourself like grow from like your relationship like it ended. So like I knew what I was like, what I needed, what I didn't need, what I didn't want to do, how to be better about it. And so in 2024, going on dates was literally just like it's like a job interview. It's like I was like figuring out
Yeah.
what they wanted, and now it's like now I know what I want, and it's just now it's like I want to put it into action this year. I'd like to get back into the field a little bit. It'd be nice. Being single kind of sucks sometimes.
Well, dude, if her dad is a Republican donor or some sort of political donor, fucking tie that fucking knot, dude.
Dude, I'll be honest, dude.
We'll need that.
If I ever like, dude, so, dude, there's this one girl, and I'm not gonna say a name. I'm not gonna be this guy, but dude, like, if I was just any bit physically attracted to her, I would marry her in a heart. Dude, her parents own a payroll company, and like they're snowbirds. They have like two lake houses in Tennessee.
Oh
Dude,
wow,
like her parents, like during the summertime, they're here, and then when the second September hits, they go down to Jupiter, Florida, and
that's
like
funny.
dude, I'm just like, bro, if I was any physically attracted to you, bro, I would
Yeah,
be.
if you were a possibility, maybe we could make something happen.
She's got like she'll send me like Snapchats of like her like house, and it's like she got like two walk-in showers, like a double shower head, and like the walk-in closets, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
dude,
hey,
that's funny.
I'm just like, one day I'm gonna meet like a bad bitch. It's like a Republican donor's daughter,
Yeah,
and he's gonna try to
well, you
buy
need
me.
to.
He's
You
gonna try
need
to-
to, dude. You need it for the good of the group. You gotta take the bullet.
I will, dude. I will. But yeah, we can end there. It was a
All right,
good.
dude. Let's end it here.